Howdy, carnivores. Hey,
Hi.
Howdy.
we are
Hi.
back. And today we are going to be talking about weight loss surgery and um failed weight loss surgery really and how carnivore did what bariatric surgery couldn't do. And so today Limitless Lindy's back with us and Michael. And today my sister's with us too, Carrie. She had lap band as well, and
Yeah.
that didn't go so good. But luckily, she's on carnivore too, and things are going fantastically. So I'm gonna sit back because I did not have any bariatric surgery, and I am going to send it on over to Lindy. And also we should say, how's your guys' week?
Oh, geez, my week was pretty good. Busy, busy, busy. I'm suffering a little bit today. I made the egg drop soup last night, and I'm burping eggs. So I've got a feeling that eggs might not be my thing. I normally just eat egg yolks, and this time I had the whole egg. And yeah, so I apologise now. Thank God you can't smell these egg burps, but
I hear
I'm
you.
suffering. I've actually got some peppermint tea to hopefully try and settle settle it. But I'm kind of struggling a bit this morning, so bear with me. But yeah, how's your week, Michael?
It's going really good. Can't complain. I'm here.
Right on. Awesome
Excellent.
intro. Well done on that.
I'm crying, and the stream hasn't started, and you've already got me crying just watching all those
Oh,
photos. That was beautiful, Michael.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
oh,
Well
Carrie, how
done.
about your week?
I'm doing good. It's been a good week. I lost a couple more pounds since I talked to you guys last, so I'm really happy.
yay!
Good job.
Yeah,
That's
Yay!
awesome.
yeah.
Way good.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Well, that's awesome. I got to tell you, Lindy, you're not alone on the eggs. So when I was first started doing the 36 eggs, it was rough. It takes a little bit of time for your stomach, especially if you've mostly been eating meat, to get used to all those egg whites. Those egg whites are rough. That's what
Yeah.
I feel you on that one.
I don't know how you manage 36 a day. I did four egg yolks, four eggs, whole eggs in my egg drop soup. Never again. I'm not having it again. That was that was brutal. And how many weeks did you do eggs for? Oh my god.
4.5, almost 5.
Uh,
Yeah, it
Oh
was
my.
1,008 eggs, I believe you ate.
1,080. If we counted it
oh
up, it was
my
Oh,
1,080
god.
eggs.
couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
No,
but
no,
we're
I
getting all
can't.
strong now.
Oh, funny, funny.
But
Yeah.
no, it was rough, and that's why the last SBG meeting, when somebody was saying that they wanted you to prime until you wanted to cuss Raymond's name, I was like, yeah, I've been thinking Raymond just likes to see grown men cry. Is what he does.
Excellent.
Yeah, good guy. But yeah, so I guess we can get started a little bit on the topic, but Lindy and Carrie both had lap band surgery, and my mom had gastric bypass surgery, and um bypass carnivore, I think, is going to be in the chat today,
Yeah.
possibly as well.
If she's
And
feeling good.
if she's
Hopefully she
feeling
is.
good, she was feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah.
And she had obviously bypass gastric bypass surgery, and you know, it's quite amazing. We were getting, well, I wasn't, but Lindy was getting a lot of questions about, you know, weight loss surgery and how to navigate carnivore once you've had it and you're kind of stuck with it. So I will give the floor to you, Lindy, and let's see where
Wow.
this goes.
Okay, well, I was 25 years old, around 300 pounds at the time, and tried pretty much every diet and failed all of those. I just couldn't sustain any of them, just felt like I was being tortured, and trying to restrict all my carbs and calories and exercising. It was just such a chore. So I went to the doctors and they discussed lap band surgery, said that would be a really good option for me. So I signed up and went along and did that. And look, it went well for, I had to go on the Optifast shakes first. I had to lose some weight first because you need to shrink your liver or something so they can actually get in there and do the surgery. So I lost more weight doing the Optifast shakes than I did the actual surgery afterwards.
Yeah.
I lost, I think, about 10 kilograms. I'm not sure what that is in pounds, sorry, but that was enough to actually have the surgery. Surgery went well. I was only in there for a day, sent me home the next day, and couldn't lift anything for 3 months, and couldn't eat or drink anything. I was throwing up, and yeah, it wasn't pleasant, but you know, that's what it is. But the cravings and wanting the food, that was all still there. There was no education or talk with anybody about the emotional eating side of things. I was an emotional eater, so anything that sort of impacted me, I just want to eat, and then you just couldn't. It just felt awful. Over time, you just sort of learn that anything you ate just got stuck, and you would be throwing up all the time. And the easiest things to get down were I call them the slippery shit food, which is usually processed ice creams and chocolate, and I could at least get that down. Fruit, vegetables, bread, meat, you name it, it would just all get stuck. So what do you eat? So I fell into the habit of just eating those easy foods that were easy to get down. Over the years, eventually, I think my pouch kind of stretched a little bit, so it gave me a little bit more room to be able to fit other foods in. But that emotional eating was just always with me. The craving food was always with me, and it was so frustrating. So I was back on the diet wagon, yo-yo dieting, binging, purging. That was my cycle for years, and I still got up to 800, close to over, like I don't know, 800 pounds with a gastric lap band surgery. So it didn't work because it didn't address my emotional eating. It didn't address all those other issues. So it was difficult. So that's how I got the surgery and my story there. Now on the carnivore diet, I do still struggle. I still have the lap band in me. It had been loosened a few years ago, but the restriction is there, and I don't know why, but if I'm stressed out, like currently I'm a little bit stressed with some home situations, with work and that, I find the restriction is even worse. So it seems to be tighter. And so when I eat things, it does kind of get stuck, and I can't keep things down as much. But I find eating dry meat is just a no-go. Ground beef and things like that, I just struggle to eat those. So the less I cook the meat, having it blue seems to work really well for me. I can get that down a lot easier. I just have to eat smaller meals throughout the day, so not sit down and have an OMAD, or if it is, it's a small OMAD. It's not a huge quantities, like you said. Yeah, other influencers eating big bowls of bacon and eggs and chicken and all sorts of things on their plate. My portions are quite small. So, and that's just the way that I have to navigate it now. So, yeah. Do you want to
Gotcha.
share your story, Carrie? Or
My story is so much like yours. It was about 12 years ago, I think, when I got mine. And the liquid diet, I lost more weight on the liquid diet that I did before and right after the surgery than I did, the whole lap band surgery. And so it was not very successful for me. And I had dieted quite a bit before, but I never did lose much weight when I would try to diet. I just wasn't very disciplined. I just had a hard time. And, for me, it was just one of those things like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I've got my food, And so that was just always my thing is, okay, I don't do anything else. So this is what I'm going to have, is I'm going to eat what I want to eat. But I definitely still struggle. I have the fluid taken out of mine as well a few years back, but I think there's a lot of scar tissue in there that's grown around it. And so I have a hard time keeping things down. And that does make things a little more challenging, of what we can eat, how much we can eat, how quickly we can eat. I've got to be super slow, small bites. And sometimes it just doesn't work. I can't keep it down. And then I've got to wait a few hours, to try again, you know. And so it was easier after the surgery to have some pie or some ice cream or brownie or something like that, all those soft, good foods that were, well, not good for you, but good tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it makes it a little more difficult, but I'm definitely having success. I'm down 53 pounds as of today, and so it's definitely working. I'm very happy with it, and the cravings are gone, which definitely wasn't the situation when it was just a lap band, and for me, they didn't tell me, they afterwards I found out like your hair will fall out and you'll not feel very good because you're not metabolizing anything, and they suggested taking different vitamins and things like that later, but they didn't tell me that right away. And so my hair was falling out. I felt sick all the time. I was getting sick all the time. And so it was definitely a rough go, you know. So
Mm. Sandra, I gained weight on the liquid diet, Lady Shake. It just became that sweet thing I overused. Yeah, it's not sustainable. Like you can easily lose weight with those shakes, not a problem. But as soon as you go off that and start eating again, you just put it all back on. So it's not a
yeah,
it's not a fix. It may be a quick fix to fit into a dress for an occasion or something. But as soon
yeah,
as you start to eat and go back to your old ways, or even eating a balanced diet, you're just going to put it all back on. So
yeah,
of course you can lose weight on any diet, but keeping sustainable and consistent, it just
yeah,
doesn't work. And I guess that's the game changer for me. What in carnivore is having that off switch. I eat my meat, the switch turns off. I no longer think about food. I go off and live my life and do my thing. Before
yes,
I was constantly thinking about food.
yep.
So you
The
have that off
obsession
switch
is gone.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing what it'll do.
yeah, it's incredible. I've been thinking about this a little bit this week because, you know, I went through the 5 weeks of priming, which was eating a bunch, which is the exact opposite of what the weight loss surgery's for. It's to keep you from eating, and they think that's a a viable option. Where I'm finding out, you know, when I was stalled out, my metabolism was slowing down. The cure to that was eating at like 5,140 calories a day. It turned out of eggs and protein and steak and butter. And that made me feel much much better, and it raised my metabolism. It was hard to eat that much food, but now I'm looking at these things and I'm realizing that just how malnourished overweight people are, and as a whole. And the real problem is we've been eating all these empty calories for years. We're addicted to them. And then we're not eating any protein, amino acids, collagens. I mean, things our bodies are screaming for. and and then you go get your stomach cut out, and and now you're, because I'm dealing with that with mom, trying to get her enough protein and stuff after having gastric bypass. And it's just like so crazy how hard it is to get mom to eat enough food. She can only eat like 8 to 12 ounces of food a day. You know what I mean? Throughout the whole day. So,
Yeah,
when I was sitting there feeling better, eating 5,000 calories of eggs and protein, I'm like, man, this is real hard, full time job for people that have had, these surgeries and stuff. And
yeah,
you know, it's pretty sad. And
Yeah.
you need your stomach to get healthy, to heal your body, to put the building blocks in to nourish your body. and they're like, I got an idea, let's cut out your stomach. So, and then I think I haven't never looked at it. Have you guys looked to see what the percentage of success rate for like lap band and gastric bypass, gastric sleeve, those things? That'd be kind of an interesting statistic to
Mhm.
look at, like a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year success rate, because I feel like it's I haven't gone out of my way to find people that have had it. I
Yeah.
just know like one, two, three. I know three people, and all three of them failed. All three of
Yeah.
those surgeries failed with the only
Uh,
three people I know that have had it. You know what I mean? Well, and you know a person, right, Michael, that had it and
yeah.
failed too, right?
Well,
Yeah,
she did lose some weight, but she put some weight back on, and now she's stuck with it.
yeah,
Um, for the longest time, I always thought the only way that I would ever lose weight is to get a gastric bypass. I wanted a dual denal because you could eat a little bit more, and the results are you lose a lot more weight. So I always thought for the longest time that was going to be the only way I could ever lose weight. But I'm glad I didn't get it. I wish I would
Mhm.
have found carnivore a long time ago and could have lost the weight many years ago
Yeah.
because carnivore is working great.
right. I mean, this right here is uh the glaring commonality between all of us is, Carrie,
Yeah.
do you have cravings anymore? Like these crazy cravings you couldn't beat anymore?
No, no. And I was a junk food junkie. I lived
Yep.
on fudge and brownies, and pie. And I just lived on garbage. And my cravings were insane. And I do great now. I do great. My cravings, I don't have any. I can look at something because the rest of my family doesn't do carnivore yet. And none of them are heavy though. They don't have any weight problems in the rest of my family. And so, I can look at something they're eating and think, "Oh, I remember when that tasted good," but I don't crave it, I don't need it, I can walk away from it, I don't have any problems.
Right. Michael, how are you doing so far with cravings now?
I don't have any. For the first time in my life, I can honestly say I do not even think about food anymore.
Yeah,
Right?
I am so free. It's amazing. It's
uh,
Yep.
like it was pulled out of my brain and it's gone.
yeah,
First month was tough, but after 4 weeks, it's been smooth sailing.
yeah,
And
Yep.
and I had even a few things early on that were sweet. Took a bite and I really didn't want it anymore, and I tossed it because it just didn't taste good to me no more. Now, the longer that I go, I don't crave nothing.
yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible. And I know Lindy has the off switch now.
Yep, as
I
she calls
do.
it, the off switch. Yep.
Yeah, I find though if I do have something sweet, that triggers those cravings to come back. That's why I restrict and keep really simple and just stick to my steak and butter and egg yolks. Just I've had a little bit of vegetables at social gatherings or whatever, and that's enough to bring back that craving and start those
Mm,
noises in my head going again. So I just know quickly pop in some meat and that should settle it and stop it again. So I'm aware of that now, so I know that I've just got to be careful and make sure I have my carnivore treats on hand for those situations. But if
yeah,
I'm going well, even in social situations, I'm quite happy to sit and watch other people eat, and I'm sit back and
yeah,
sip my water, and it doesn't faze me. Like I'm happy that they're enjoying it. I'm happy they can moderate. I'm happy that they're loving it. And then afterwards, they're like, "Oh, I've got a food baby. Oh, I feel this," and I'm just sitting there with a big smile on my face because I feel amazing. So,
right?
um, yeah, I can deal with those social situations now a lot better as well.
Exactly. And I haven't had a carb craving other than pickled jalapenos. I don't know why it's for the vinegar. I don't get it. That's the only craving I've had in since January 1st, 2023. And let me tell you, I can fight me off a pickled jalapeno craving. That's not that tough to overcome. But the soda cravings were intense for
Oh,
me. That was the
me
worst.
too.
I could, yeah. And oh, you did. That's the thing we can talk about too, Carrie. Didn't you do the lemonade thing too?
Yes, I still do. I still do. My recipe is a little bit different than yours, but I do the lemonade thing quite frequently because that's how I get my electrolytes. And so I do that quite frequently.
Right, and Jake's doing it too, and he likes it, right?
Yep, he loves it. He loves it. We make big pictures of it and put it in the fridge. And
Right,
so it's
and
just
it's
it's replaced pop in our house, definitely.
right. And did you ever think you were going to get off soda?
No.
No,
My Coke was everything to me. It was the first thing I did in the morning was drink a pop, and last thing at night drink a pop. And so yeah, I didn't think I could get away from that.
nope. And I'm right there with you. And then look at
Yeah.
mom. How long has mom been giving up Diet Coke now since she's been on that? It's been like close to 3 months, I think.
Yeah, and all our lives mom drank pop. All our lives. That's all. I always remember that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when I was really young, she was drinking the diet the gold cans, the diet caffeine free
Yes.
Coke, like it was going out of
Yeah.
style. And then
Oh
she
yeah.
was, yeah, and then remember she had that stomach problem when I
Yep.
think I was like 9 or 10. She had to go to the hospital. She almost died from drinking so much soda, you
Yeah.
know?
She just
Wow.
totally messed up her stomach, and it was bad. She had to have surgery, and um
Yeah.
she
She almost
yeah.
didn't make it out of there, right? Because her
No,
blood pressure dropped real bad or whatever in
yep,
surgery.
and they couldn't get a line in on her, and
Hmm.
because she was so dehydrated, because all she drank was pop, and just she never drank any water, and so they couldn't get a line going on her, an IV, and because she was just so dehydrated, and it was bad. It was very scary. I mean, it's the grace of God she lived through that. But
Right.
yeah,
From
she
soda.
can
She
after
was such an
can.
addict from soda that she almost died, had surgery in the hospital, came out, and still kept drinking diet soda. And that's been going
Mhm.
on. But the last 2.5 to 3 months, mom's been on that lemonade drink.
Yep.
She's holding to it. She has not asked for a Coke or tried to sneak one in or anything in
Wow.
almost 3 months.
That's yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing what it's done for her. It's a
Yeah.
miracle because she was not giving it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we were bad with that. And so the fact that Carnivore freed me from soda addiction, which was a real thing. I mean, right now I'm like 11 days into quitting Copenhagen that I've been doing since I was a young teenager. That was way easier than quitting soda, diet soda, and carbonated drinks. The Copenhagen was way easier. Uh, I don't know. It's just crazy how hard that is to quit, and how Carnivore finally, between being BBB and E and taking the electrolytes and drinking that lemon drink to
Yeah.
replace it, and like we were talking last night, using those same rituals but changing the end product to something that's not going to kill you,
Yeah.
basically. you know that all worked, and I haven't
Yeah.
craved soda. I just drink this big jug of water all day long. I
Mhm.
do drink a ton of water now. I'm starting to think that that's kind of strange because I drink so much water. It's kind of crazy now. I've been drinking like, especially since I started priming, I've been drinking like 2.5 of those pitchers a day. It's been crazy.
Wow.
But uh I have that off switch. Carrie has that off switch. Lindy has that off switch. Michael has that off switch. Everybody I know, that's why this works when
Yeah.
the bariatric, I mean, they go so far to cut your stomach out, and that can't even stop people. Like Sean Baker was talking about, people get diabetes. He had a patient, he had to amputate his leg because of diabetes. When he got out of the surgery and was talking to the guy, he thanked him for cutting off his leg because it was hurting so bad it felt better. And then Sean asked him, can we help you with your diet so we can not have to, so you can save the other leg? And he goes, oh, there's just no use. I couldn't give up, carbohydrates and sugar.
Yeah.
And that's how addictive this stuff is, where
Mm.
surgeries and amputations and real life threatening things, we're so addicted to it. And we've all found true freedom in
Yep.
carnivore. It's truly releasing us from these addictions and these stupid things. And, because I don't think we give it credit enough just how addictive those behaviors and those sugar, habits and soda habits and those things, we play it off and we pretend like
Mm.
because it's in the store that it's not, that dangerous or whatever. But then when you back up and you look around and you see the totality of it all, that it's got 74% of the world sick and in some kind of bad metabolic disease or,
Oh.
Cancer or neurological disease or, autoimmune disease, something's going on.
Yeah.
and it's, almost certainly 99% the food. And we still laugh that off and we don't put the full, gravity of the situation on the food. We don't look at it like that. And it's so crazy. We should really be looking at most of that stuff in the store like it's, cyanide or rat poison or whatever.
Yeah.
We should be looking at it how it's, killing our family and friends and stealing our
Yep.
quality of life. And somehow you talk to people and they can still go, mass majority of people just go, oh, I couldn't give up my X, Y,
Carbs.
or Z. I couldn't give up my
No.
cookies, my soda, my
Yeah.
whatever their favorite.
Pop-Tarts.
Yeah,
Pop-Tarts.
exactly.
I told 2 people about it, and I says, "Try it." I said, "You're gonna feel so much better than what you're dealing with now with all your aches and pains and the weight that you're
Yes.
trying to lose." I said, "Try it." And you know what the response is to me? "I like my carbs." And let me
Yeah.
ask you guys, do any of you miss them?
No.
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 No, I don't. I
Mm-mm.
will admit, I miss my bread. And the only reason I miss it is cleaning my plate up afterwards. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
miss it for, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just I relate too much of that stuff to, a pretty terrible spot.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't miss any of it. I love the fact that it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I love the
Yeah.
fact that food isn't the center of my universe anymore. Worrying about food, pretending like I'm not going to eat the bad food when I know I'm going to break down to it anyways, pretending like I'm going to finally stick to this stupid diet where I'm going to use willpower this time somehow and just gut it out and white knuckle it for the next 30 years and be healthy and happy. I
I
mean, it's
did
all
that so many
stupid.
times, and all you do is suffer.
Yeah, and you're just going to break
Yeah.
down. Like like they say, hunger wins every time. Because
Yeah.
it's unrelentless.
I was
Yes.
sitting here yesterday. I had my window wide open because it's beautiful outside, and the neighbour was baking cookies, and that waft of the cookie smell was coming through my window, and it just brought back memories of my nonna when she used to make cookies, and that was a really comforting smell. And I'm like, oh, I remember sitting there and eating those cookies straight out of the oven when they're warm, and like, yeah, but look at what happened to me after eating all those
Right.
cookies. Do I
Mm.
want to feel that way again? Like, do I want to go back to that 800-pound woman again? No. Like, I enjoyed the smell and and it brought back lovely memories for me, but it also brought memories of my 800-pound life. And so that was enough for me to say, yeah, I'm not going to go out and buy cookies now that I can smell them. But
No.
yeah, it was nice to reminisce. So yeah.
For sure.
And I bet you
No.
even if you had a cookie and you tried it, it wouldn't taste the same as it used to, and you wouldn't want it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It would probably be
Yeah.
way too sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want it. I wasn't interested in trying it. I just thought I am scared to spiral back into my old ways. So I'm very conscious of that. I don't want to ever go back to how I was.
No.
I just know how addicting those the sugars and those carbs are for me. So best to abstain for me.
I just want to give a shout out here to our very first ever.
Oh,
Super chat.
wow.
Wow.
Yay.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. Let's see. We appreciate that. Oh, that's Lindy. Okay. I was like, wait a minute, I can't do that. I'm getting it now.
Yeah.
That's
I was trying to
Lindy said.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that's the first one we've ever received. They've only just been monetized. You have to get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, all these criteria. And then they said, press this button, which I did. And yeah, no idea what happens with that button. Obviously, that's what happens.
Now you know.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. That's amazing.
Um,
Let's see
We'll put
here.
that towards our airplane fund. We all want to meet up one day in the middle, somewhere between the US and Australia.
Michael's
So we'll
trying
put
to
that
take us.
towards our travel
Mike,
fund.
yeah, Michael's trying to get us to meet on Carnivore Island where everybody's cannibals and eating each other.
Yeah.
Hey.
The other halfway point is London. I picked that one.
We could always try it. There's an Amara sprints everyone's talking about at the moment.
Right.
Sprinting. Run away from those cannibals.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna have to do the sprinting deal in the SBG gang because Michael wants us to meet up and play Hunger Games on an island somewhere.
I was just trying to find a middle place for us to meet someplace, guys. That's all I was trying to do.
And you found a cannibal island.
Well, I said that's the thing we gotta watch out for. We got to bring our running shoes.
That's right.
That's all right. I've got running shoes now. We can do it.
There we go.
I'm not to that point yet. That I can run.
We will
So
be. We will be.
So you guys would just leave me behind. I know it.
Never. We're a team.
No, we are.
Oh, we got one to put up here. Yep, this is Michael. He is our
I am.
friend, and he is the one. Yeah, he's helping us with everything. He made that intro. He's making all these cool banners and background and all the things that me and Lindy don't do at all. Michael's awesome
yeah.
at it. So he's why we look squared away now.
Just trying to help.
We look like we know what we're doing, all because of Michael.
Right. We call Michael and we're like, Michael, how do I turn my computer on?
No, you guys know how to do that.
No.
That's
Awesome,
awesome.
Michael. Love you, Michael.
Amazing dude. Let's see here. I was gonna see. Can you guys hear Cosette making an absolute ruckus in the background because she can hear Carrie through my computer?
I thought it was your stomach.
Oh.
She hears
All
you and
those
she's
eggs.
yeah. Cosette's over here like, where is she? She keeps looking outside, thinking you and Josie are here.
No, yeah, she wants Josie to play ball with her.
Yeah, she's like, we're going to town. We're going to town.
Yep, what's going on?
She's losing her mind. All right. Let's see. So, and also I know Carrie, we'll get back to this conversation because I know you've only got 25 more minutes of time.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Lindy, you're
Thank
gonna
you,
make it here.
Sandra.
You're gonna make it here in no time.
I'll be there next year, yeah.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Sandra.
I'd
is
love to come
amazing.
and meet everyone there. There's so many, because there's not many carnivores here in Australia. I haven't met, no, I only know Dr.
Oh.
Chafee, and there's a few that are coming out on YouTube now that are saying, hi, I'm from Australia, but I don't know anyone. So I feel like I've got so many friends in the US, and I just want to come and meet everyone and give you all a big hug. So
You got to come over here and bring Scott, and you got to do it during Tornado Alley storm season.
Oh yeah, God, definitely. We want to chase some tornadoes, and yeah.
Her husband's a storm chaser, but they have pretty mild weather in Melbourne. So
he's an armchair storm chaser. He watches it all on TV or on his computer. So I call him the armchair storm chaser. And he's dirty carnivore as well. So
oh man, that's awesome.
Thank you, Sandra.
So what do you think the sustainability of carnivore is, Carrie, compared to your lap band surgery?
Oh, worlds apart. I mean, I can do this forever. I finally feel like this was the answer. This was everything. I can do this. You know, I don't feel scared that I'm going to go back to my old ways. I feel so good. I'm so grateful that you kept bugging me to do this, and that I, you know, for the longest time I was like, oh, I can't give it up. I just can't, you know, and I wish I'd have done it sooner, you know, and I'm just really happy.
Oh, also, while you're here, I'm not going to give the trolls very much of my time because I hate feeding the trolls, but this is my sister and she is 10 years older than me. So there's people in here that are hell bent on saying that I didn't weigh anywhere close to 200 pounds when I was 5 or 6.
Yes, I can remember when you were a year old, you weighed about 100 pounds at a year, because you weighed about the same as me. I would have been 11 and you'd have been a year, and I couldn't carry you anymore. And you were only a year old. I mean, it was, yeah, you weighed
I'm
it.
husky. I'm husky. so,
You're big
so,
bone.
and then this is the other thing that everybody's freaking out. Well, for
Yeah.
two reasons. One, I said that I worked in the field, the
Yes.
field, when I
Thank you.
was
Thank you.
14, and people thought I said I worked in the fields like I was a hayseed farmer. And I was saying, no, I worked in the construction field as a
Yeah.
technician. And everybody lost their mind and said that I didn't work as an electrician when I was
No,
14.
you did. We were homeschooled, and so it was very easy for us. We just, I worked at home, and then I got a job too when I was pretty young, taking care of kids,
Well, and
and
we
just
worked for
worked.
dad. When you
Yeah,
work for your
yeah,
parents, you have the labor
Different
laws are
story.
completely different.
Yep.
yes, yes.
And not only that, dad didn't give a damn about the laws
No,
either. And so
he
dad's
didn't
like,
care.
you're 16 until you're 18.
Yep,
like, so for a long time, everybody asked, how old are you? 16. 16. I was 16
16.
for many, many years on the job
Yep.
site
Well, and you
because
were so big, you looked it. It was easy to do that.
I know. I remember when we wired the Motel 6 in Gardner when dad had his big
Yes.
heart attack and he had to go
Yep.
get the surgery.
Yep.
When we were staying there, Ty was 19. The
Yep.
carpenter that Ty was hanging out with was 20. We would go
Yep.
back to Immigrant because he thought they could get beer at the gas station. And so Ty's 19. At that time, I would have been 13. So I was
Yeah.
13 years old when I was helping him on that job. That's
Yep.
even before 14 for those of you that are counting. But anyhow, so when we were staying on the Yellowstone River working on the Motel 6 in Gardner, Montana, you can look it up. It's there. It's now called the Yellowstone River Lodge. But
Yeah.
anyways, when we were working on that job, Ty and the carpenter were like, we're going to go get beer, and Ty wasn't going to drink, but the carpenter thought that Ty looked big and old enough that they could get beer. So
Yeah.
we drove back to Immigrant and they went in the gas station and they wouldn't sell them beer. I'm 13, but I am so big and I got my huge Carhartt overalls on and I got
Yeah.
my hard hat on. And I was like, it's because you guys look nervous. Like, so anyhow, they're like, you think you can do better? I'm like, I know I can do better. And I went in there and I grabbed beer like I own the place and I slapped it up on the counter and I was like, hot day, son of a bitch. These things, they sold me beer when I was 13 and I hauled it out to the car because I looked like a construction worker because I
Right.
was so big. They were like, he couldn't have grown this big if he, they didn't dare tell me I couldn't buy beer. And it was funny. So after that, for several weeks in a row up there, that carpenter had me going with him to Immigrant and they would go get him beer. It was funny. But anyhow, just some funny stories.
Yeah.
Because there's some trolls, but I'm not going to give them too much time. It was funny. This one
Yeah.
guy deleted him because it's just like, I'm not even going to feed you. But he was like, the fattest 14-year-old in the world was 522 pounds, and the fattest 5-year-old was 220 pounds. I was like, well, I'm sorry, but I never contacted the Guinness Book of World Records. I wasn't trying to set any records.
Yeah. Because we want to
Uh,
advertise that,
totally.
when you're a
But
kid.
yeah, but it was funny. Anyhow, since you're on here, I just wanted to get people to hear it from your point of view, because I'm just like,
Yes.
why do these people think I'm getting on here telling stories like I give a crap? The whole point
Yeah.
was I was just telling you I was huge from a young age.
Yeah.
And the whole reason that I said that I was going to work so young was because when I was out in the field working, that was when I realized, oh, this weight's going to be a real problem because this really sucks.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
going to work, my back's hurting, my feet are hurting, my knees are hurting. Like before, when you're just not that busy trying to work and stand up and haul wire and climb ladders and stuff, 10 hours a day, it wasn't, it wasn't at the forefront of my mind because, I wasn't being tested. But when you go to work, you're like, oh, this can't stay this way. And that was what started the diet yo-yoing and the starvation diets and all the going up and down, was when I realized life is going to be really hard this way, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of the story. I don't care if anybody knows that I went to work when I was young. It wasn't anything about the story other than that was why I started trying to lose weight really hard back
No,
then.
people think we're all up here looking for attention. We're not up here looking for attention. What we're looking for is to help other people that were in
Yes.
Yeah,
situations
well,
where we were at.
I want attention. I want people
Oh,
to see attention that I'm freed from a
right,
Yeah.
lifetime
right.
of
No, I
of
agree with
of
that.
sugar addiction, and we all got a second chance here, and that's why we
Yes.
want attention. We want everybody to see it
Yep.
and know that there's a way out of this. There's hope.
Yes.
And
Yep.
you know, I can't believe it every day when I wake up and feel how free I am from the soda. You know, I mean, it was just, well, it was January 1st. I was still stuck in a chair thinking, I don't know if I'm waking up tomorrow. I don't know if this is
Yeah.
going to happen tomorrow.
It was
I didn't
bad.
know
It
that,
was
yeah,
bad.
I didn't know if Carnivore was going to pull me out of this pit. You know, I believe that Carnivore was right, but I also believe that I dug myself a hole too deep that anything was going to actually pull me out in time. But it did. It totally did. And it did for Lindy. It is for my
Mm.
sister. It is for Michael right now. It is for Bill in Alaska. It totally works. It's not too late. And
Yes.
it really is the answer. That's why I called my channel The Carnivore Cure, because I feel like for
It
the
is.
first time in my life, I'm not on a diet. I'm being cured. You know, my
Yep.
body's
Yes.
being healed. You
So
know?
Yeah.
let me I just want to put this out there. So you guys know why we're all here. We're here to spread this message. So can you please do us a favor? Can you please hit the subscribe button and give us some likes and share us, please? So we can get
Yeah.
more eyes on this to help
Yep.
people that are out there.
Sure.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Let's start with the questions. We got a pretty good pile of questions here.
Kathleen, lap band 10 years, miserable and could only eat candy and crunchy snacks. Excusing myself at the table several times till slime was done with it. Removed 3 years ago. It was easy to have removed for me. Have you thought about having yours removed, Carrie?
I do. It's going to be spendy. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get that done, but I want it out. I definitely want it out. With all the complications that I'm having and everything, I definitely. Do you want yours out?
I'm scared to have mine out. I'm scared they're going to nick something while they're in there. It's
Me
been in
too.
there over 25 years now. So
Yeah.
is there going to be scar tissue around it? And that's going to
Yeah.
be difficult to remove. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I've got the same fear.
obviously, I'm struggling with it, but I think I'd rather struggle with it than to have more damage done, trying to have it removed. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a little scary.
I think I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and just have to wing it. So, yeah.
Well, my port has scar tissue on it, and so the port on mine is like a golf ball size and it sticks out. And so I know I'm growing a lot of scar tissue. So that scares me, the part on the stomach. But I'm like, is this going to keep growing? You know, what's going to happen? So I definitely want it out.
That's strange. Mine hasn't, but I
Yeah.
have so much fat that, like, I don't even know where my port is, and they put a little tattoo there, but that tattoo's like hanging on the ground now. They've got so much loose skin, so it's not even in the right spot now. It's just it's all over the place. Yeah. Definitely wish I knew about Carnivore, 25 years ago. My life would have been so much different.
Oh, I
And
know.
I went on Carnivore to lose weight, but to me, that weight loss was the cherry on top. Look at me now. I'm here on YouTube talking to the world. I've got all this confidence and, I'm no longer depressed and I've got a life now. All of those benefits far outweigh the weight loss to me. So, yeah. Kathleen, after band, went keto, lost 70 pounds, been carnivore for 6 weeks now, lost nothing, 10 years banded. Your body's probably got a little bit of healing to do, so I just keep at it. I mean, you've got to be consistent. 6 weeks is still very new. Your body's
I was going to say that same. Same thing, because it makes me think of Bella and vegans that turn carnivore. They have to do the priming so much longer because they were some of the most malnutrition people because they were so starved for protein, collagen, and those things. So I think
Mm,
if you have a small stomach and you're doing keto and you're doing a lot of cruciferous vegetables and fiber in your keto diet, and then you go do a lot more protein, amino acids, and fats, I would bet. And this is just this isn't in my wheelhouse, but it's something that's really been in my brain since I've been doing priming, because I'm like, how malnourished was I? Like how
Yeah.
much how much of this stuff do I need to put back in? And so I was just thinking that same thing, because it reminded me of, how Bella had to basically, she was eating like 6 or 7 pounds of meat a day for like a long time, and she looks like she weighs 110 pounds.
wow.
But you also had quite a considerable amount of weight loss doing keto. So you're 70 pounds on keto. Now you've gone to carnivore. So your body's just now probably catching up with that weight loss. So after I lost a lot of weight, I stalled. I'm like, how can I stall? I've got so much more to lose yet. But your body's got to catch up and heal. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be worried at this stage. I just keep doing carnivore, keep doing what you're doing, be consistent. And when your body's ready, it will start dropping that weight again.
Totally.
Lady Fritz, lots of low density protein is in dehydrated sliced meat, similar to carnivore crisps, but much cheaper to make your own. Two Crazy Ketos have recipes. Have you guys tried making any of these carnivore crisp and jerky type recipes? Or
No.
I haven't really made any of them, just because I don't want to encourage myself to get into snacking.
yeah,
Exactly the same. I don't want to.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the same.
I'm not struggling and doing what I'm doing now. Why would I want to introduce anything different that can throw me off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
but
I don't
but
want
I
to
c-
do that.
but I can see, there's so many things, like I can totally see this being a thing for people that are more maintaining, because
Right.
we're all like on the train down, but
Right.
when we get there, I can
Right.
see, having a healthy way to kind of stay in maintenance, because we're going to be
Yeah.
more and more active, and
Right.
having a more, bigger demand on protein and stuff. And I think this would be fun for kind of a maintenance program type thing. So
Yeah.
I would definitely
Mm.
be trying it for sure. And also starting off, getting on the wagon.
Right.
Herbelina, I worked 23 years in nursing home care centre. Several 40 to 50-year-olds ended up in nursing home due to gastric bypass malnutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah, not nice, is it?
Oh, and that's
They really wreck
exactly.
you. Mm,
Yeah. I don't think people realize how you're not getting anything you need,
Right.
even though you're eating, and especially where you can only eat the soft garbage, you're really just not feeding yourself anything that you need and that your body needs.
Yeah.
and
It's a
literally,
fact.
drives you crazy because you don't have that off switch, so you want to eat and you can't eat, and then you just got all these other complications. So it makes your life even more difficult, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kiwi Carnivore. Hi, Keith. I thought the lap band was going to be the only way I was going to lose weight. In New Zealand, if your HbA1c is over a certain amount, you can go on a waiting list for lap band surgery.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot of people think the lap band surgery is a quick fix. And for me, it wasn't, obviously. It didn't work for me because it's not addressing the root cause of the issue, which was my
Right.
emotional eating and the
Yep.
carb cravings, the addiction to
I
food.
wish I'd
So,
never done it.
yeah, me too. Me too. But it's not the quick fix, is it?
No.
Carnivore, Stephen. Hi, my friend had sleeve also and had to take special soft chew vitamins. He wants me to take them now. Do you have to take these vitamins after the sleeve while on carnivore? Do you take anything, Carrie?
I do. I'm pretty into vitamins. I'm really big on electrolytes. I think that's really important. I take I'm big on vitamin C, vitamin D3, K2, potassium, magnesium. Um, I don't know. And then I do collagen with my coffee in the morning. And so I think it's important because with us, where we do have the lap band and we're not getting what we need, I think it's important.
For me, I only take vitamin D and folate because they're deficient in my lab results. So to keep my doctor happy, I had those supplement with those. And electrolytes, I maybe have one every 3 or 4 days, just the sachet. And that's all I have. I don't want to take anything. I don't feel like I need anything.
Yeah.
Before, I used to take multivitamins. I'd try them and I would have a migraine instantly. I don't know what was in them. That was before Carnivore, so many years ago. And I tried a few times because people, on my health kicks, I'm like, oh, I need to have vitamins and all that. And yeah, instantly I'd have a migraine for like 2 or 3 days and I'd have to go off them. So I don't know what was in them that was giving me that migraine. So I just stick with my vitamin D and folate. And if the doctor says I need something else, I might give it a go. But I feel good, so I don't feel like I need anything. Sandra McDonald, they made lap band and gastric sleeve sound like the ultimate cure. I was shocked when I started to see people eating past it. Well, it's the only way. I mean, you can't eat normal foods anymore, and the easy foods are those processed, easy to get down foods. Otherwise, you're eating nothing because you're just throwing everything up all the time. It's not pleasant.
No, and it's just like it's so amazing to me why it took me to be 38 years old, but I mean, I get it, but it took me to be 38 years old to realize we don't just eat for fuel, we eat for nutrients. And you hear that stuff all the time, but for some reason, until you really start digging into it and you realize when you do an elimination diet like carnivore, you start understanding the difference between listening to your body, what it really needs, and also understanding what a craving is. And you can distinguish the two between cravings and listening to cues from your body. And the more that you listen to those cues to your body, it's pretty incredible how accurate it gets, and it'll shape your taste buds. You'll get rewarded for it. It'll balance your hormones. You'll get leptin sensitivity back, all these things. And those cravings will just drop away because the more your body heals. And then you realize, I think most of this time I was only putting food in my mouth for two reasons. One was for an endorphin fix because I had an addiction to sugar and I was having sugar cravings that were maddening. And then two, because my body was malnourished and it was needing things desperately. And it had gotten to the point where my body was hormonally and metabolically sick enough that I had like anxiety and depression and just everything was in a whirlwind and it didn't even know how to communicate anymore. So it thought my world food environment consisted of like pizza, tacos, diet soda. So it's trying to give me cues of what I need, of little things, of hints of glimmers of hope in like the pizza of a little bit of protein and a little bit of amino acids. And you just got it all confused. And when you do carnivore, and you give it all this amazingly nutrient packed meat and fat and electrolytes and salt and water, you put all this stuff in there, it takes a little while, but it all comes back around. You go through the keto flu, there's just a whole shakeup. But then when it comes back around, your body can finally start going, oh, this is an option. Like we can have steak that's out there without having steak with sugar, ice cream, Cinnabons, whatever afterwards, or without the poisonous Diet Coke. It's crazy. And then you start really getting these good cues and you're like, oh, this is why we have an off switch, because our hormones kind of balance and we're able to hear our body now, and our body's able to actually clearly communicate with us what we need. And we were able to decipher the difference between a craving that's like just like an alcoholic or drug addict. We were sugar addicts and we were able to decipher the difference between those. But when your body's healing, it's pretty amazing how fast it can shut that down and just give you that switch, give you that power back. And truly amazing. It is
Mm,
amazing to me.
it's a miracle for sure.
All right.
Shannon Bedford, Carrie and Michael, how long have you been carnivore?
Go ahead, Carrie.
I started keto about 5-6 months ago, and I've been just recently getting into just straight carnivore.
So
I'm still
let's make a distinction. It wasn't dirty keto. She was on ketovore,
yes,
because she'd
exactly.
watch me do dirty keto for months and months and months, and it was not going good. So when you started keto, tell them what you're really eating, because it was pretty strict keto.
Yeah, yeah. It was bacon, eggs, steak. The only thing I had much of anything is I was doing keto shakes, just because of the
Keto chow
keto
shakes,
chow. Yeah,
Canberries. Yeah.
yeah. And I like those, and I've experimented with some fat bombs just because not being able to eat very much, trying to get some fat in there and stuff. So, but I've been pretty strict on what I've eaten. Just I don't like to cook like Todd does. Todd is an amazing cook, and so
Yeah.
I'm terrible. And so whatever was, it was just easy to do the bacon, the steak, the eggs, and that worked for me.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and she has a little bit of coffee. She has a
yep,
little bit of cream in her coffee.
yep,
Um, and at first she was doing some salads. She was getting some
yes.
salad mix and she was making her own dressing, but you've kind of gone away from the salads. You haven't done that. And
I have. I haven't had a salad in like maybe 3 weeks or something like that. So,
yeah,
yeah, I've got off the salads and I'm just, mainly bacon and steak,
right.
and
Yeah,
then some
that
eggs.
yeah, and that's why it was important to make that distinction, because some people, you talk keto and they think chaffles, fat bombs, bulletproof coffee,
Right.
keto quest bars, and keto peanut butter
No.
cups and all this nonsense. Because we all, that goes back to it. I think with the not recognizing nutrition versus fuel, not
Yeah.
recognizing that having your stomach cut out's not a good idea, not
Mm,
recognizing that our standard American diet's not working, not recognizing that doctors are just trying to sell us drugs. All those
yeah.
things had the same thing in common, which was we all wanted a magic pill, you know.
Mm.
And so when I started doing keto, I bought in. We're so weak because we're drug addicts when we're doing this, and so we're like, oh wait, here's they sell us the magic pill every time. They sell it to us in drugs, they sell it to us in bariatric surgery, and then we finally hear about keto and it makes sense, and they're like, yeah, and you can have peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're keto peanut butter cups,
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
keto fathead dough
Right.
pizza. Yeah. And you're like, oh, this is great. Now, if it says keto in front of it, I can eat the same processed nonsense I was eating before, but with a keto flair, and I'm going to be great. And yeah, that was 2 years of my life looking for another magic pill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you have an addiction, you hear keto and you think, oh, that means I can have double portions because it's healthier.
Right.
So,
Right.
when you can't moderate, it's just a
Yeah.
buzzword. Yeah, I can't do it. And
As
for
for
those
me,
that
I
can, fantastic. But yeah, go Michael. Sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. As for me, I've been since mid July. I've been on carnivore. Not I still have a few things left that I'm getting rid of. I still have a little bit of cabbage left. And other than that, all I eat pretty much is meat and eggs.
And how are you
Um,
feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling the best I have in probably 20 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome.
So it's a complete difference. My depression's gone. Um, I used to dread getting up in the morning. I'd be really sore. I'm not gonna, I still have a couple days that are bad, and I don't know if it's due to the weather or I know I had an issue last week, being really sore, really stiff in my knees and my legs, and I took some magnesium and potassium, and within hours I felt better. The next day I felt great again. So I was just low on electrolytes.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's different. Some people don't need them, some people do.
Totally.
Mm. Ursula, what was the game changer to stop cravings for everybody?
All right, for me, it was getting off soda. So it was the lemon drink, which was, I'll just go through it real quick. But I think we put, Mike was kind enough to put it in me and Lindy's community post,
Yes.
the recipe for the lemon drink. But ultimately, it was kind of lime flavored, bubbly, sparkling water. But there's nothing in it, but, well, you'll just have to look it up. But it's lime flavored bubbly. It's called. I'd use 4 cans, organic volcanic lemon juice, some Dr. Berg's electrolyte powder. I know people in the community world are a little bit bummed with Dr. Berg, and I get that. I'm not I don't have anything to say about the guy other than the things that I talk about are the things that I actually used, and they were his products, and they worked for me.
And they work,
Um,
right?
yeah, and so his electrolyte powder I used with that. So that with BBB&E, which was beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, and salt. That was the thing. After 5 weeks of that, don't know why. I haven't had a sugar craving or depression or anxiety or really even cared about food since
Yeah.
since doing that for five
Exactly the
weeks.
same.
It's gone.
Yep. Yep.
For me, just removing carbs, anything with a sweet taste, no sweeteners, anything would just trigger my craving straight away. So I just have to keep strict and know that if I do have something sweet, vegetables are sweet to me, and fruits, things like that. If I do happen to have something on a social um, outing, then I have to have my backup supply of meat or some pork rinds or something to top up to break that craving later. So I'm aware of that now, but definitely anything sweet will trigger my cravings again. So I just abstain from everything sweet. Carrie?
Mine went so fast and so easy. I think in the beginning I did a lot of hamburger and I did a lot of bacon. I still do a lot of bacon. And Todd would just tell me, when you're having a craving in the beginning, just stuff your face with bacon and eat all the bacon you can until you're full, and then that craving's gonna go. And that worked for me. But I honestly, I didn't have that much problem with the keto flu and withdrawal or whatever you want to call it. I just it worked fast for me.
Well, that's good.
I
For
guess.
me, I I would have some cheese. If I start getting a craving or something like that at the start when I was first doing it, I'd go grab maybe a slice or two of cheese, provolone, cheddar, or something like that, and just snack on that. And that seemed to help. The other thing I noticed too is just a little bit of salt in your mouth helps.
Mm.
Mm,
Or just grab some water or something like that. Or if I know that I could lose it and order a pizza or something like that, then I would just go make myself a burger or something like that and eat that, and it's gone. So
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. And kind of what Mike's saying and what Carrie hit on is when I learned that there's two types of appetite control: leptin, which is a satiety hormone, but also you have stretch markers in your stomach that I believe their purpose for them is so you don't overeat and actually rip your stomach. But in the stomach lining of your stomach, you actually have an appetite suppressant that when those stretch markers stretch, your brain will shut down any cues for hunger or cravings to eat. And so I know that insulin sensitivity and high fasted insulin levels blocks the signal of leptin signals to your brain, so you don't have that. Most people that are insulin resistant don't have that first line of satiety hormone and appetite suppression hormone in their body. They don't get the cue to that, and that's why people like my family, we all ate until we were stuffed, not until we were
oh,
satiated. There's a difference.
oh,
yeah.
And so I was like, I'm my electrician brain was like, well, if the first switch is broken, then I'm gonna trigger the second switch. And so if I was having a carb craving, I just made a deal with myself that I was gonna eat bacon until I was stuffed, and that was gonna trick that second switch and should shut down my mind. And I just had to make a deal with myself that I'm just gonna eat that bacon, trigger that switch, and then if an hour later after doing that my mind's still freaking out and wants a pizza, then fine, go ahead. But before I could order a pizza or anything stupid, I had to eat bacon until I was stuffed and give it an hour. And without fail, flipping that switch worked every time. With, within 30 minutes, it really was within 15 minutes of starting to eat bacon. You got your senses about you, and the cravings were going away, and you're like, okay, I just talked myself off the ledge with bacon. So
Yep. It works.
works.
Kiwi carnivore, what are you all most proud of since becoming carnivore? Oh, here I am sharing my story. I used to be painfully shy, always the one blending in with the wall, hiding from people, hiding from
Yeah.
cameras. And now here I
Mhm.
am talking to YouTube and people from all over the world. I'm loving this community. I've become happy. I'm starting to love myself again. Like, I like who I see
Mhm.
in the mirror. I like me as a person. I hated myself before, hated what I'd done to myself. I was not proud of being 800 pounds at all. And I just hated my life. So just getting my life back.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of myself for digging myself out of that deep, dark hole. And that's why I'm here to share my story. To hope I can help others or inspire others to show them it's not too late. I had one foot in the grave, and here I am living my life and loving it, and it can be done. And carnival was what worked for me, and hopefully, there's something that you can try, another tool you can try to help you dig yourself out of that hole. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Todd?
Oh, me. You're putting it on me. All
Yeah.
right. My favorite thing I'm most proud of now with carnivore is I kind of told this story a little while ago, but basically I can trust like my own subconscious motives now, which I
Huh?
found out about 2 weeks ago. I had decided to quit chewing. For you that don't know, I quit chewing about 10 or 11 days ago now, I guess, on the 26th last month, however long that's been. But when I did that, I'd originally planned to do it a week earlier, and I'd kind of made a declaration. It was funny because I had to carry. I'm like, I need Copenhagen, and I decided when I ran out of these cans of chew, I wasn't going to chew anymore. But then that also happened to have been the same time that I was deep into priming, and I was having a hard time priming. Was screwing up my sleep. I was getting like I wasn't sleeping. I also had a really big project I was working on for work. And so I made the decision, like I remember calling you that day because I was looking at my last can about to run out, and I was tired and hadn't slept in like 3 or 4 days really, because the priming stuff was wigging me out, and had all this mountain of work to do, and it just went through my head. I'm like, I don't want to jeopardize the priming and this work that I'm doing and my sleep. Like I think I'm adding too much on this week, so I'm just gonna get 3 more cans, get me through the end of this month's workload, get me kind of further into priming, and then I'll do it next week. Well, that triggered something in my brain because it had been a while since I'd put off a promise that I made to myself, and then I realized that for a long time I'd been, I'm going to start a new diet on Monday, and then Monday would come and well, we're going to go do that dinner, or we're going to go to,
Yeah.
it's somebody's birthday, it's a holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, we got that thing, So you would always sit there and you would kick that can down the road, and as soon as you would do it and you'd make the excuse, so you'd just feel guilty, and your subconscious knew you were full of crap and you were just making excuses to keep eating junk.
Right.
And so when I kicked that can down the road on the not chewing, quitting chewing that week, I was sitting here waiting for this hammer to drop because my body, like, it was like my subconscious was used to me making bullcrap excuses, but it was never bothering me. This time it wasn't bothering me. And it was so silly because the fact that it wasn't bothering me was driving me crazy because I wasn't used to not letting those things bother me. So I actually had to sit down and be like, why is this not bothering me? I didn't start when I said I was going to start. I kind of made a promise and I'm not keeping it. What is going on? And it was just dawned on me. I was like, oh, because I'm not an addict anymore. So for the first time ever, I can trust my own motives. Like
Yep.
I'm not like split personality lying to myself. I actually made a educated, good decision to not overload my plate last week where I was going to jeopardize all the good things I was doing. So for the first time, this kicking the can down the road was actually done out of like an honest, genuine place of doing something good in the big picture. Like it was genuine. And I realized that day, and I'm sorry this is a long answer to this, but I realized I was like, oh, this is fun. I can actually like trust myself again because I'm no longer this sugar miserable addict. I'm actually making good decisions. And like the reason why it doesn't bother me is because it checked out with my subconscious. He's like, oh yeah, for once you're not full of crap. Like that's
Yeah.
real. You're doing that for a good reason. Good on you, type of thing. So that's what I'm happy about. I can trust like my like motives and where I'm coming from better, kind of reflexes. My
Yeah.
my subconscious reflexes, I can trust those better now.
Right.
So that was a long answer, but that is true. So
Yep. Carrie?
For me, I'm really excited and really happy about the fact that I can move better. My family is very active. My husband and my daughter are very active, and it was always like, well, mom can't go because she can't walk that far, or mom can't go because she hurts too bad, or your mom can't do that. And so now I'm gaining independence, and I can do things. I can join with them. I can get up and do my own thing that I need to do. It's not, mom's hurting, mom's too big, whatever. So that's really important to me, and that's what I'm most excited about is I'm getting back in the game, with my
Very
family.
good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. For me, it's getting my life back. If you knew me just a few months ago, I was really at probably one of the lowest points of my life and really struggling. And in many nights going to bed and kind of hoping that I wouldn't wake up in the morning just to let go. So starting this, and I know I'm early on, but I don't see me quitting this.
Yeah,
Um, and each day I feel better, and I'm getting that little spark back that I've lost so long ago. And
yeah,
you guys all know it, that spark that you lose, that
yeah,
you get to the point where you just don't care anymore. And so getting it back and feeling better each day, noticing changes in my body.
yeah.
Um, that's what I'm most proud of right now. And I know there's more to come. It's going to take some time, and I got a long way to go. Um, but I'm getting there.
well, and you're sporting the ever famed carnivore glow too. We've noticed that. You got the
and, and
carnivore glow.
and I also have to say another thing that I'm proud of is me being on this. If you knew me and you knew how I hid away most of my life because I didn't want people seeing me because they don't understand, what
Yeah,
I'm going through. And if you see my whole body like you have seen in the intro, um, you know, people just don't understand when they see you. And I would have little kids run up to me and say, "Why are you so fat?"
yeah,
And that little stuff hurts you,
It does. Yeah.
I
because
used to
they.
tell them because I ate children.
Yeah, I always wanted to say that, but I never thought of that. But it's
I
just
love that.
the little things. So that's what I'm most proud of. And me being, like I said, being up here.
For
yeah,
sure. Oh, it's
And I'm
awesome,
proud
man.
of us all for finding this, and finding each other, and we're able to share our stories, and yeah, we just relate to each other.
And we all just connected right away. And
Mm,
we're to the point now where we're saying something, and either one of them can pop in and finish my sentence because they know exactly where I'm going with it because they lived it. So,
yeah, absolutely. Shannon, I had to be very. I had have to be very strict. I only use beef, salt, and water. I crave steak every day. I do too, and occasionally I'll try a bit of like have some chicken wings or something else, and I'm like, I should have just eaten that steak. I much
Oh,
prefer that. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, people say you need to change it up and all that, but no, give me a steak. It
Absolutely.
never get sick of it.
Nope. It is absolutely, I think, I don't know that there's a more nutritious thing out there than just a, really good fatty cut of steak. Every time I eat anything less, I hear people talking about chicken, like when those, God bless them, but the guys that are talking about the heart attack chicken last night and everything. I was
Yeah,
like, why would you eat chicken when you can eat steak?
I hardly eat chicken anymore. I don't eat it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't have much either.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was just funny, but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and you are basically, I mean, I did that for a period of time too when I was testing things, Shannon, and yeah, I think it's awesome. I tried it because you're basically doing the Jordan Peterson diet. He's been eating just beef, salt, basically steak, water, and salt for 5 years now, and the guy looks amazing. So that's great. I bet you feel just like a superhero now.
Sandra, I'm still doing the lemonade, but I was never a fizzy drink partaker. Stopped fuzzy when I stopped drinking hard liquor mixer, but the lemon drink helped me drink mineral water.
Totally.
I've got a soda stream. I use that in summer. With summer coming up, I'm looking forward to getting some bubbles back in my water.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
miss
and
the
it,
bubbles.
I have a soda stream as well, and once in a while, if I'm want something to drink, I'll just make the water, and then I'll just put a little bit of lemon juice in there, and that's it.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice. J3480. I still have a problem eating bread, chips, cookies, pizza, but I can tell the difference if I don't eat them. I just can't break myself of these things. Look, it took me 6 months to find my feet, especially when you've got family that are not carnivore and you're doing carnivore and seeing their meat, all these other things. That was a big struggle for me. And joining a community helped me sort of get through that. And I had to sign up for some personal one-on-one coaching because I was pretty hardcore extreme. So, but yeah, you just got to try and keep consistent. If you're hungry, eat meat. If you're not hungry,
Oh,
and also you need to find out whether you're eating because you're hungry or if you're eating because you're bored or like an emotional thing. So if you
oh,
open the fridge and you look at a piece of steak or an egg and you don't really want it, you want the pizza. Are you really eating because you're hungry? Because if you're hungry, you would eat it. If
right.
it's you're eating for comfort or as a distraction or whatever, then you're not really hungry. You're eating out of habit. So learning those hunger cues is really important as well.
Yeah. All four of those were always my go-to: bread, chips, cookies, and pizza. Pizza was my favorite food that I would always eat. That's like what I lived on. And the same with the cookies and the bread. You have to get them out of your system for a while. It's going to take some time. It took me 4 months. I remember not 4 months, 4 weeks to get out of that, and then you have to push past that. And then once you do, your body won't be craving it no more. You're addicted to the
Mm.
carbs. You're addicted to the bread, the chips, the cookies, the pizza, and your body's craving it. So you know you have to just push through a little bit. It's not easy, but
yeah,
you want to get there.
yeah, and you got to do it long enough that your glycogen stores in your muscle get depleted. Then
Yep.
that'll put you through real keto flu.
Yep.
And once you go through that, once your glycogen stores are depleted, once you go through the real keto flu, your body's going to look for a new fuel source and
Yep.
it's going to start becoming fat adapted, and that will help. But you also have to realize these aren't real well established pathways in your body at that point. It takes a little bit of time for your mitochondria to heal, for your body to reestablish these pathways, for your lymphatic system and drainage to work a little bit better. So it takes time before you're efficiently fat adapted. And that's why consistency and time is really key when it comes to this. And um you just gotta kind of lie to yourself. Honestly, you gotta be like, I'm just gonna do it today, and if I feel like falling off the wagon tomorrow, then I'll do it. But you just kind of got to take it a day at a time and do whatever it takes to get yourself through the day to the next day. and then find a reason that next day to go to the next day. And you're going to start adding up numbers. You're going to get stronger. It's going to get easier. Your cravings are going to get weaker and weaker, and they're going to
Right.
start losing their effect.
And
And
you won't
then,
have them long. After
yeah,
that, they'll be gone. Yeah.
yep. And you really do have to bear down though and make up your mind that you can't look at the week, the 3 weeks of whatever. You can really just look at, no matter what today, I'm doing what it takes today. I don't care how much bacon I gotta shove in my face. I don't care how much cheese I gotta eat. Like today, I'm not falling off today. And then when you wake up that next day, and especially in the morning when you wake up, because that's when it would always hit me the worst, right in the morning, your brain's gonna be freaking out, going, I can't go a whole nother day without cookies, whatever. You just say whatever, and you just let your brain freak out. And while it's freaking out, you're shoving bacon in your face. Okay.
Yeah.
Just get it in there. And then that'll calm it down. And you just start adding up these days. I mean, right now, I'm in the 11th month. And I did this by just adding up those days. I had no idea I was going to make it to 11 months.
Right.
It's absolutely nutty to me that I haven't drank anything but water in 11 months. It's nutty to me that I haven't, had anything with sugar. I haven't had any carbohydrate, I haven't had anything but meat.
Meat and
Meat and
eggs.
eggs and
And
salt.
eggs.
Yeah, meat, eggs, and salt in 11 months. And that sounds crazy, but it's the most freeing, easy thing I've ever done now. But my situation was dire enough that, like they say, that gave me a pretty big why. And I had to just look at that every day and lie to myself every day, whatever it took to get through that day, and just say, well, if tomorrow I feel like this, I'll quit tomorrow. And then just every day you kick that can down the road a day until pretty soon. Because if you look at like, I'm going to do this for 4 weeks, you're gonna freak out. You're gonna have a bad go of it, so
Yeah.
you just got to take it a day at a time and a meal at a time, and just eat, and eat more bacon and eggs and steak or whatever that thing is, and cheese, and put it in your mouth whenever you're about to fall apart and go off
Yeah.
the rails, and just do that until you look back and you got 4 weeks under your belt or 6 weeks under your belt, and you're like, hey, I'm not feeling so psychotic in the morning when I wake up about these cravings. That's what I did for sure.
Sandra, my friend's in
AFib.
AFib, looking at losing his right leg. Promised his heart specialist he would go carnivore. Then got home and told me yesterday, nope, I won't be doing that.
Shame.
Yeah, and it's a shame, but
Yeah.
your friend's an addict, and that's why it kind of sucks that there's this. People aren't taking it serious enough just how addictive and how poisonous this stuff is in the stores. And we look around, and it's killing everybody. I mean, it's just killing everybody. It's taking years off their life. It's taking their quality of life away from them. It's making men sterile and losing testosterone, and it's causing
Losing your
hormone
hair.
problems. And yeah, exactly. And it's just miserable, and it's happening all over. And somehow, because we've wrapped it up in a sprinkle covered package of cookies and Christmas rituals and holiday rituals, and spending time with the family. But well, we can't do that because we're spending time with family. I just always say, just replace that thought with, well, but it's our family's tradition that on Christmas we get together and bake crack, right? Or bake
Right.
meth, because that's what's happening. Like, if you just stop calling it like sugar cookies or caramels or fudge or whatever all this stuff
Exactly the
is,
same thing.
yeah, you're taking meth. Like that would sound crazy if you really categorized it closer to what's real, which is a super addictive substance is taking your health and your quality of life from you, and it's hurting you. So we just kind of, I don't know, we just got to take off the gloves and stop letting it be cutesy, and we got to treat these people just like they're an alcoholic or a drug addict, and be like, yeah, your habit's gonna kill you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm here.
D. Lee, I was very low carb sugar for 6 to 8 weeks first, now BBBE since first week of August. well, trying to be BBBE. I did great the first 2 weeks, no cravings. After that, so many sweet cravings I never had.
Hmm.
Hmm. It's early days. I guess you just got to keep going. Are you using sweeteners?
Yeah, and make sure there's no sugar or nothing in the food that you're eating.
Yeah, if you're using seasonings, there could be sugars in your seasonings that
Yeah.
trigger the cravings.
Also, what happens a lot of times too is when you're doing the BBB and E, you end up not eating enough because that's super satiating. And so if you're not eating enough and your body's wanting more, but you're starting to get satiated, but your way that's what I found. Because when I would find that I wasn't eating enough at first, I would get hungry pretty quick and it would always be cravings. But if you really uh load that up, plus let me put this in there too. You need to add more fat, I would say, to your diet. And
Mm.
you need to add more electrolytes to your diet. If you bump up the fat and the electrolytes, because like you can do the BBB and E, but unless you're doing a lot of E, right, a lot of eggs or a lot of butter, and you're kind of like if you're eating, let's say sirloin, and you're not eating much butter and not you're eating 1 or 2 eggs a day, and you're eating
Too lean.
some lean sirloin, you're not getting the fat that you need. And then
Nope.
if you have an electrolyte deficiency, I mean, that's just a huge problem. And I know there's this big back and forth in the carnivore world where they say, oh, you don't need electrolytes. Oh, you do, back and forth. Here's what I think. I think when you first start from, coming from the standard American diet, if you're sick, if you're overweight, you're deficient in everything. I mean, absolutely everything. Like you're sick, right? And so anything that you put in there supplement wise and electrolyte wise, as long as it's an essential vitamin or mineral, I think it's going to help you at first. But there will become a time where you finally get healed up and you get your body all the nutrients you need, and then your body can maintain just off of the meats. That's what I personally feel, what I experience, and why I think when you're starting out, the electrolytes are so important. So
Ariane, yes, it's detrimental. I thought I couldn't give up my pinto beans and red and green chili until 2 months ago. I was low carb, but that was my extra to keep me going until low carb until 2 months ago.
yeah,
I don't know what a pinto bean is, but I'm sure it may
they're
have been
tasty.
good.
They're tasty.
Yeah.
They're good, yeah. A lot of carbs,
Yeah.
though. That's the problem. I was really shocked to see how many carbs were in the beans.
There's a lot of carbs in beans. It's
Yeah.
nonsense. Trust me. My favorite food was Mexican food, followed by
Yeah.
pizza. So
Yeah.
it made me sad to give up beans too.
Yeah.
And I love Tex-Mex chili. I made a
Yeah.
pretty bomb chili too.
I make a good
But
chili too, and I was going to throw some beans in there, and I looked at the can and I saw how many carbs. I said, no.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. These I'll get bean diabetes.
Yeah.
D. Lee, sweet cravings before changing my diet. I seem to always be fighting the cravings now and sometimes giving any tips for this. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely the fat and definitely the electrolytes, and then just eat more carnivore food. Just stay stuffed. Just keep stuffing yourself and stuffing yourself. The steak and butter game likes to say comfortably stuffed. I don't know what that means. I haven't figured it out yet because every time I ate to what I was hoping was comfortably stuffed, within 30 minutes was very uncomfortably stuffed. But eat till you're stuffed, and just don't be hungry. Eat ahead of the hunger, eat ahead of the cravings. Like if at any sign that you're starting to have a craving, at any sign that you're starting to get hungry, just eat. That's the number one thing, is that on carnivore, especially when you're starting out, you have to heal your body. And everybody's so programmed to do the calorie restrictive, calorie in, calorie out nonsense, that you are so scared to eat and so scared to gain weight and so scared to put up these big calories, which is so silly because it's what your body needs. Your body, it's not about the calories, it's about the right calories. It's about the building blocks, it's about the nutrients. Your body needs them. So I don't care. You might gain weight. you might gain muscle. You might gain some fluid. Your electrolytes are going to have a hard time, and you might have a little higher sodium that's going to make you gain a little fluid at first.
Yep.
All these things, but it ain't going to last long, and your body's going to heal,
No.
figure itself out, and your body is the best thing that can heal you. It's not these doctors, and it's dang sure not these drugs. It is your body, and if you give it what it needs, I mean, it's pretty fantastic. The work that it's doing on me and Lindy and Mike and Carrie.
Yep.
We're just giving our body basically the tools, and it's just going and doing some amazing stuff right now. You know,
Me and Todd were just talking last night, and we were talking about our eye floaters. They're going away.
totally.
Mm.
Are yours going away, Carrie?
Yeah. And I had when Josie was a baby, my daughter was a baby, I had to get into the vehicle we were in, and there was always this piece of metal that would push on a certain spot in my leg, and it made a purple mark. And I've had that purple mark for 12 years, and it is disappearing. It's almost gone, and I've had it for 12 years. So it's weird, the things that are healing and changing, and it's just, your body is doing amazing things.
It's getting rid of all the junk out of your system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cleaning you out. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, exactly. And Carrie, this is my sister. She's on carnivore too. My other brother's mostly on carnivore. Yeah,
Yep.
it's spreading. It's spreading.
Yeah.
Lindy, I think your husband's dirty carnivore.
Well, look, he's really good at home, but when he's at work, he may slip up and have his iced coffees or a muffin or something like that. As long as he keeps
But-
it out of the house, fine.
But you know what? Even this is what I laugh. Me and Michael laugh about this too, and my sister actually. We all talked about this. How much better is he now that he's trying to be carnivore than he was when like he was on this, the sad diet? Like, now it's funny how we beat ourselves up. Like when I was transitioning in through keto and stuff, I was thinking, oh, because I still think keto had a purpose. I did it wrong, and I did dirty keto, but it did help make me so much stricter because it used to be I'd be like, oh, I screwed up. I had 2 large pizzas and a 24 chicken wings, and drank a gallon of soda, and now it's like, oh, I had a nice coffee with stevia.
Right. Yep. Totally.
So good on Scott because he's now if it's just his iced coffee or whatever, it's minimal compared to what it probably used to be.
Yeah, for sure. Sandra, I'm a Kiwi living in Western Australia. Yay. But when it comes to carnivore, you seem close, Lindy. Yeah, we are. We're neighbours. Western Australia's on the other side of me. I'm Melbourne, so yeah. You'll need Dr. Chafee.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be amazing. Todd, why would ever make something like that? Sorry, go lay down. Sorry, did you guys hear Cosette bark?
No.
No.
Oh, good. Okay, the filter's working. Why would anybody make something like that up? Yeah, it's I don't know, trolls, right? That's why I don't ever spend time on this. I just thought, well, Carrie's on here, I'd address it because it's kind of funny. Because she's 10 years older than me, so she's got a better recollection of my early childhood than I do. So,
Yeah.
And she's going to look and see if she's got pictures too.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm gonna try to dig them out. I've got to find them. But yeah.
But yeah, we don't spend too much time feeding the trolls here, but this was a good time to address it once.
Joe Blow, so many come to carnivore because of illness. Am I the only one doing it just to get ripped? Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there wanting to get ripped, and yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
No matter what your why is or why you're doing it, as long as you're feeling awesome, go for it.
Ripped works too. Hey, if you're trying to get ripped, definitely try the 36 eggs a day thing. That's for real.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I've been doing. Awesome.
Have you ever made bacon chips, Dr. Berries? I made them for craving.
I haven't tried them.
Bacon chips, no. I find like I feel a bit ill when I have pork and bacon. Sometimes it gives me indigestion, so I don't have a lot of bacon. Carnivore, baby.
Hi, Liz. Yes, Carrie is Todd's sister. Let's see. You're still in Montana. I'm in Montana. We are in Montana. We are in the Gallatin Valley.
Well,
Yeah.
you two are.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Us, me and Carrie. Lindy is a little further away from Montana.
Just a little bit.
Over the water.
And Mike is somewhere in
Outside of
Illinois.
Chicago. Yeah, outside of
Outside of
Chicago.
I was trying to be more vague just in case you didn't want any groupies.
I had the lap band and had it removed, did the gastric sleeve. The lap band did not work for me. Okay. So how long, I'd love to know how long you had the lap band for, and did you have any complications having it removed? Because it's something that's been on Carrie and on my mind. I'd love to learn more about that one if you get a moment. But Ian, how are you doing on the gastric sleeve?
Yeah, I think she was the one that was talking about having the cookies and cravings and things.
The bread, yeah.
Yeah. Still, that root cause is still nagging you, isn't it? Good point, Lindy. The body grows blood vessels and adhesions to try to reject foreign bodies. I can't get the old metalware in spine because that last revision of broken metalware was 9 hours surgery. Yeah, with the lap band and scar tissue. I think I'm just going to put up with it. That is what it is, isn't it? That's where I am. Vegan for years now. I'm trying to increase my calories and nutrition.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hope it works for you for sure.
Terry Hunter. Hi, everyone. I'm only 5 days in Carnivore, feeling sluggish, but know my body is healing. Love hearing everybody's stories. So glad you are doing this. Like, subscribed, and shared. Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with your journey.
Yeah, stay strong, Terry. You can do this for sure.
Yeah. Linda, have you heard of Wendy from Loving It on Keto? She had lap band for years and it shifted and cut into her esophagus and she had to have it removed.
Wow.
No, I haven't.
We'll have to check that out.
Wow.
I don't think mine will be moving. It's been 25 years. That's probably fused in there pretty good. I imagine. I know I'm very malnourished and it's showing up in my blood labs. Do any of you all have suggestions? I eat more protein now, but it's very tough for me to eat a lot of meat. I also had the sleeve. I think like Todd says, bump up that fat. That sort of keeps you more satiated. So hopefully that will help with your cravings. But I know gastric bypass, they do need supplements because you can't get the nourishment from your food. So does your mum have supplements because she's had gastric bypass, hasn't she?
Yeah, so she was doing the protein powders and all that stuff, and then she had a few I forget what it was, those canisters of minerals and protein powders, and they were basically like a protein and nutrient supplement that she was supposed to, for like that first year, she was supposed to sprinkle it on like everything she was eating because she needed more nutrients, but yeah, now she really does take it. I mean, before she was just eating, cake and donuts and pastry, and she would be like, well, those are easy on my stomach and it doesn't make me throw up. And that's what she was just eating over and over and over again, Yeah. Oh boy, did I lose my way?
You had one there from Rose to say that she's glad that she did the gastric bypass, and that is wonderful that it's worked for you. And there's probably a lot of people that it works for you, and you're very lucky and well done. For me, the lap band didn't work. It obviously hasn't worked for Carrie either, and it's different for everyone. So for those that can have the surgeries and it works for them, huzzah, that's wonderful. And I'm glad it worked, but it doesn't work for everybody.
No, some people it's going to work for, some people it's not. Everybody's different. Once again,
I've said it a million times. I'd rather see you have the bariatric surgery than be super overweight and die young. I
Right.
mean, if
I agree.
if that is really the only way you can do it, and you can't make anything else work, and
Yeah.
And if it
it's
doesn't work for you, you're not a failure either. There's
No.
obviously a deeper rooted problem there. I mean, I failed lap band, and I always thought I was a failure because I failed everything, but it's not.
Same.
There's obviously a deeper rooted problem that I needed to resolve, and I've done that now. Simsin, I'm having problems with that also. I made some liver pate today with a lot of butter to help me with that. Otherwise, butter, tallow, lard. Wow, good on you for making liver pate. I'm still scared of liver, like just the thought of it.
I
So
hear
I
you.
need to put my big girl undies on and do something about it. I think. They're so nice. Carrie, what are your thoughts on implementing shakes with Carnivore from Liz?
For me, I like the keto shake,
Keto
the keto
chow.
chow, because it helped me, especially in the morning. I have a very difficult time eating in the morning. It was very helpful to me in the beginning when I was transitioning and, getting used to things, eating so much meat. I wasn't used to that, and so that keto chow really helped me be able to get some food down, get some things going. So it worked for me while I was doing it. I don't need it anymore, but it did help me get to the next stage, I guess you'd say.
Absolutely.
Nice. D. Lee, Carrie, it sounds like you're doing a great job. Thumbs up. Awesome.
She is.
How much meat do you all eat? I don't think I'm eating enough. I notice that if I don't eat enough protein in the day, I crave more carbs.
Absolutely. On priming,
Todd has us all beat here.
on priming,
Yes,
I was
yes.
eating 3 to 4.5 pounds of meat a day, in addition to 36 eggs. Off priming, I ate about 2 pounds of meat a day on OMAD.
I'm not even near that. Sometimes I'll eat a half a pound of burgers, and then for dinner, and then I'll have a couple pieces of sausage and eggs in the morning.
I do like one steak, and then I might do 4 to 6 pieces of bacon. I don't, sometimes I only get in a half a steak in a day. Todd, you know how much my steaks are, more than I do.
Yeah, she
Um,
eats, because you cut the New Yorks that I cut you in half, so that's
it-
going to be between 12, 12 and 8 ounces of steak she eats,
yeah,
because some maybe even 7 on some of those steaks, right around
yeah,
there, and you kind of have to take it slow on those, but yeah,
yeah,
because I cut up her steaks because
yes,
we do the roast. We do like the strip loin roast and the prime rib roast, and then I cut them up into steaks for both of us and vacuum seal them. And I cut them pretty
yeah,
thick. They're 1.5 to 2 pounds of steak, and then she cuts 1.5 and eats it. And
yeah.
probably some of those you probably get 3 meals out of.
Yeah, I do. I do. I just can't get much in. So, I think that it's definitely an issue for me, trying to get enough meat in. But it's getting better. The more I eat, the more my body is getting used to it. And if I'm just really careful how I eat, small bites, very slow, then I can get more in.
That's
I'm the
awesome.
same. I have about our steaks come in 250 grams, and I just googled it. It's about 8 ounces, nearly 8.8 ounces. And I would have, sometimes I can eat one, very rarely, but sometimes I eat half and then I save the other half for a second meal later on in the day. I just
Yeah,
find I just can't get it down. And when I'm stressed, I just feel that restrictions even more. And I can't eat maybe 3 or 4 bites and that's it. So, and
yeah,
again, I can't eat in the morning like you as well. I find when I wake up first thing in the morning, I just can't keep anything down. So I normally eat about, 1 or 2 in the afternoon and then I'm
yeah.
fine. So yeah, I don't know what
That's
it is
me
about
too.
mornings. Yeah. Simsin, I like liver, Terry, so I don't take the supplements. I do take D and K with some iodine. Oh, I've got some iodine too, but I need to buy some more.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about taking some iodine as well.
Yeah,
I do.
I take that.
Lugol's?
Yeah, no,
it
it's
Lug-
called C-Calp. I take C-Calp supplements for the
Okay.
iodine. Yep.
Any of you guys try the drops, the iodine drops? That's what I was looking
Yeah,
at
that's
getting.
what I'm using. Yeah.
What do you
That's
do?
what I'm using.
Put it in your water?
No,
Yep.
I just pop it on my steak.
Oh, well, that's a good idea. Yeah,
You drops on my steak, I don't taste it then.
you
Yeah,
do that.
that's
You do that daily?
When I remember, I haven't had it
Okay.
in a while because I'm
So
down to
just
my
a
last
couple times a
drinks.
week, then you do it. Okay.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
a week.
I try to do it daily when I remember also.
Any good dips for pork rinds? So I had to get away from the dips because dips get me in trouble. Sauces, dips, all those things. However, when I was on keto, if you can get away with it, and I don't recommend it because I couldn't, but those queso pork rinds don't need no dip. Those things are amazing. If you get the queso ones, those
Yeah.
things are out of control good. But I just got rid of them because I just was like, I don't know what all these seasonings and things are doing, and I had to take it so serious. I got rid of them. But if you're in that realm, I'd imagine you could make something good out of like I used to do before when I was trying to tighten up my keto. I would do like sour cream with like Frank's Red Hot sauce because Frank's Red Hot sauce is actually mostly just pepper and butter.
And vinegar. Oh, is
Yeah.
it butter?
Yeah, it's butter and well, oil, I should say, fat. And
Right.
most people mix it with butter, but it's vinegar and
Vinegar.
Frank's red hot sauce is vinegar and pepper, and then you mix it with butter to make the hot wing sauce. Is what I was trying to say. So I'd mix that together and put it in some sour cream, and that was pretty good for things. But that was when I was really tightening up the keto. That was like my last go-to sauce that I had.
Yeah.
Kind of
Liz,
doing a
do
rapid
all
fire because we're falling behind.
We got 47
Liz,
and 2.
do all four of you feel the same about sweeteners? Yeah, no for me. Triggers
for me.
cravings for me. So.
Yeah.
I'm working my way getting off of them. I still slowly I use Surclose in my coffee in the morning. And I'm down to 2 drops now. So
Yay, cool.
and eventually get down to 1, but I don't put no cream or nothing in there. Just a little bit of sweetener.
I do a little bit of monk fruit in my coffee when I do it. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
If it's working, then it's good. If it's not, then it's not.
working.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Better than sugar.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Polly, interested in carnivore because I have a lot to weight to lose and I have advanced lymphedema. Also has helped a bit. My doctor is anti. I need to put my
BC.
glasses off. Yeah,
I don't know what BC is.
because he's probably anti-carnivore
Oh.
because the potential raise to cholesterol, which is slightly elevated.
Yeah. Well, tell
If
your
you're new
doctor.
to carnivore, your cholesterol will be out of whack, won't it? So, yeah, it takes a little while for it to come down. But yeah, tell your doctor, Todd.
To grab his ankles, stick his opinion up his butt. Because the thing of it is the cholesterol thing. That's not even real. That is such bad science now. It's embarrassing that your doctor would even bring that up. It means that he's I don't know where he's getting his information, but it's got to be on a typewriter because the guy is like, I don't know, 30 years behind, it feels like, the science at this point. That guy, yeah, dump that doctor, find a real doctor, find one that wasn't born in the 1800s, that's still getting bamboozled by Ansel Keys in the newspaper, and dump that guy. That guy's crazy. And look up Ken Berry, look up Sean Baker, look up I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. He's in your neck of the woods, Lindy.
Chafee.
Yeah, Chafee.
Dr.
Yeah, look up
Chafee.
those guys and research cholesterol and what a complete racket that was to sell people drugs. Absolutely maddening. So
Yeah, and I have lipedema and lymphedema, and this diet has been amazing. My symptoms have just literally gone. Like I used to have a lot of pain with it. The swelling in my limbs was so bad. It's all beautiful now. It's almost normal. I've still got a lot of scarring and things, bit of the hard tissue, but all the swelling's gone. Lipedema pain, that's all gone. I don't hardly experience anything unless I do have a bit of a cheat when we're socializing and I feel at night time my legs start to ache and I'm like, oh, it must have been that pumpkin or yeah, something to trigger that. But otherwise pain free. It's awesome.
Carnivore Scott did tell me to to warn everybody if I'm a little extra spicy today, it's because I quit Copenhagen. I'm working on the
But you've had a
the
smile constantly. That carnival comes sort of, yeah,
yeah,
obviously it's working for you.
yeah, nicotine withdrawal. So, I don't know. I just get so mad when I see doctors still saying the cholesterol thing. I mean, it's so silly. Ugh.
I
Your
told
body
my
makes its
doctor
own cholesterol.
Your body
yeah,
makes its own cholesterol. If you want to see your cholesterol numbers high, go ahead and fast before you take a blood test for cholesterol. If you want to trick your doctor and show him that you don't have high cholesterol, eat a triple bacon double cheeseburger just before you go in to get your blood test, and you'll have the lowest cholesterol numbers because cholesterol is not in your burger and it's not in your food. When you have a lack of animal fats in your body produces cholesterol. And it's because our body needs cholesterol and it needs animal fats. And the reason why cholesterol is up is because they pushed all this low fat food nonsense. And then they started seeing that cholesterol was clogging arteries and they blamed it on the fat. Well, it's not true. Cholesterol was there to do its job because you had inflammation in your body and it was tearing up your arteries. And cholesterol was trying to fix your arteries. It was trying to patch them. It was trying to heal your arteries. So I love the example that if blaming cholesterol for like plugging your arteries is like blaming firefighters for fires because they happen to be at
Right.
the scene of the crime all the time. Like
Right.
they're there as to support and try to help and try to fix it because there's a terrible thing going on, and they're badly trying to repair the damage that's happening to to our veins and our arteries and stuff. So it's just completely silly. There is a little bit more to do with the good cholesterol and bad cholesterol and the balances. And ultimately, if you're metabolically getting healthy and you're eating a healthy diet and you're healing yourself, then cholesterol is a very, very good thing for you. If you are metabolically sick and you're trying to eat the standard American diet and you're adding cholesterol in, then it's not a good thing for you because you have a perfect storm of bad things. But when you're on carnivore, no, it's a great thing for you. And the fact that that doctor's still bringing that stuff up just makes him seem silly.
Mm.
So
I actually said to my doctor, give me 3 months on carnivore and then we'll retest. And if my bloods are really still very bad, then I'll do whatever you tell me to do. But this is my last option. I just want to trust the process and give it a go. And she's like, all right, all right, all right. Went back just over 3 months later, reverse pre-diabetes, tick, tick, tick for cholesterol. Everything was good. Her jaw dropped. She's like, how much weight have you lost? Like she didn't recognize me. And she was super proud of me, but then she turns around and said, oh, I'm leaving now. I'm actually moving on. I'm going to work at a bariatric centre. So when you fail your carnivore diet, here's my business card. Come and see me. And I'm like, here I am, tick, tick, tick. He just said everything was going well.
right.
Yeah.
And she's still kicking me while I'm on my way up. And I just thought, okay, a little fire in my belly. And I just thought, yeah, I'll come and see you when I've lost all my weight. And I'll come and show
Exactly.
you that I did this all without your services. So,
Right.
yeah, just
And good on you for
money,
doing
I
it.
think. Yeah.
Money and they've been indoctrinated. They went to
Yeah.
school. This is a profession. That this is an ideology for them.
Mm. From Beth, Todd, I understand exactly what you mean about trusting yourself. That's huge, and that's my ultimate goal to reach. Yeah, I think you
Absolutely.
learn so much about your body and yourself being on carnivore. It just opens your eyes, doesn't it?
Really does. I really think that's the reason why I quit chewing. I didn't plan on quitting chewing. Like it wasn't necessarily bothering me, but as I was, as my body was healing and getting better at listening to itself, it was just like it was pushing me to quit it. I just was not liking it from the simple things. I just didn't like how my teeth felt anymore just on it. And just, there's just nutty things going on. And I swear it's just your body's capable of going, no, that's another bad thing that you just got to get rid of. I swear it was just kind of pushing me to get rid of that stuff. I mean, it's quite crazy, but absolutely, you start getting your body healthy and it'll treat you good. It'll start really kind of, giving you the cues of things that it likes, that it doesn't like, and what's making a big difference,
Yep.
And you will get there, Beth, for sure.
Yeah, she will.
Sandra, what an amazing family testimony. You're in great company, Lindy.
We appreciate it very much.
Thank
And
you.
I think they're including you in the family, Mike.
Well,
Let's see here.
Liz, you four are all awesome and we appreciate this live. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you
Thank
get
you.
value from our
Appreciate-
talk. Yeah, that's good. Am I the only one who prefers ground beef to steak? I do like ground beef. I just can't physically keep it down because of my lap band. So otherwise, I'd probably be fine with it. That's why I prefer
I eat
steak.
it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I ate a bunch of it, but then I just got burnt out on it because I ate so much of it at first.
Yeah.
And then also when I started noticing, what I like about steak, and this doesn't have to be expensive cuts of steak, sirloin, picanha, which are sirloin cap steaks, chuck steaks, chuck roasts, all those things. What I like about it is when you grind up meat, you don't really know what they're putting in it. And also they tend to put water in it to overweight it. And it just kind of gets diluted. When you add a bunch of water to a bunch of meat to weight it down and then you cook it, it gets real dry. And that's what I find out with burgers. It gets real dry. What I like about steak is they don't really mess with it. I mean, it's a cut of meat right off the cow and they're not really messing with it. They're not
They can't do
putting
nothing to
nothing
it.
in it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they'll do some stuff to get the color,
Color
puts,
and with the
they'll
gas
do,
in the package and stuff.
yeah, and the gas and stuff. And so I don't like that. And I try to get the most healthy stuff I can get a hold of. But ultimately, I just like it because they can't mess with it. Especially when I found out that there's more junk. If you look at the packages, there's more junk in shredded cheese than there is block cheese because when they shred it, they get to add fillers in it.
Right.
And they do that to our
And-
ground beef.
And all the coatings to make it not stick together in the shredded cheese.
Yep, exactly.
Oh.
And so you're just better off getting whole foods, which is funny, but I just want I want animal products that have the least amount of ingredients. I want the animal product to say this animal and that's it.
And that's what it is, right?
Yeah. Like I want beef to just have beef in it. You know what I mean? like simple. But as far as that, if you get some good ground beef and stuff, or better yet, make your own because you can get you can get chuck roast, you can get flank steaks, you can get briskets and make your own. Also, if you're feeling a little fancy, what's really fun is if you take rib roast and you grind it up, which sounds like a sin and it kind of is, but grind up prime rib with a 50-50 mix of bacon and that make bacon burgers out of ground bacon.
Good.
Oh my Lord. That's a religious experience. You'll have if you make
So
those
what time's dinner tonight?
I'm all in. Remember when I made those for the 4th of July, Carrie, and we had so I ground up the bacon with the ribeye, and then we used the horseradish cheddar. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we made
I gotta jump off here, guys.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
but it's been awesome talking to everybody. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you,
guys.
Carrie.
All right, I'll talk to you again. I'm gonna take off here.
Talk
Bye,
to you later.
Carrie.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
But yeah, those are good. This was before I was on Carnivore, but it was ribeye bacon burgers with horseradish, extra sharp white cheddar, and then a jalapeno relish with jalapeno ketchup. That was the best burger I ever made.
I bet it was good.
So good. Good old days. So now I've made the ribeye bacon hamburger for carnivore, and it's very good. Okay.
Kiwi Carnival, thank you for answering my questions so beautifully and honestly. You are all awesome. Oh, thanks, Keith.
Appreciate it.
Keith's a good guy.
Yeah.
Totally.
Terry Hunter, I love steak, but it's expensive to buy them. I could look at Costco price, $170 for big slab of ribeye. Profitable. I'll probably get about 20 steaks out of it. Think that will be my Christmas present to myself.
Good Christmas
Yeah.
present.
Definitely a good investment. And
And-
you know, if go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and I know we say this a lot, but definitely look for deals if you can. But I know at the front end it's hard to spend a lot on meat, and so especially if you
Yep.
start out on the cheaper cuts of meat and
Yep.
the hamburgers and things at first. What you'll notice is you'll start getting healthy, and you will start saving money on everything because you'll stop snacking. You'll
Right.
stop needing that coffee. You'll stop needing those, snacks and those, things like, how much money I'm going to save not chewing a couple cans of Copenhagen.
A lot of money.
You
Adds
know?
up quick.
It does. And so, and we laugh about it because it's so funny. This number keeps coming up, but I think I save about $1,500 a month by not eating
Wow.
the way I used to eat.
Oh, okay.
And
Everything. Okay. I thought it was just on your Copenhagen.
No, just on everything because
Right.
I mean, and I laugh because I even bring it down to the toilet paper. I use so much less toilet paper now. And if you're carnivore very long, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, no, the aspirin, the antihistamines, the allergy pills, the Pepto-Bismol, the Tums, all of those things, the snacks and all those, I used to have
Condiments.
to get, condiments and seasonings and
Mm.
all that stuff. When you take that away and you're just, it's an expensive piece of meat. I give you that. But when that's all that you're truly eating in that meal, and then you're not going to the fridge for ice cream later and
Right.
like a, whatever, a little Debbie,
Yep.
something or other in between. When you really cut all that stuff out and it really is just this like 1 or 2 or 3 meals a day that's real simplified, it actually you end up saving it, and then you can invest it in those higher cuts of beef. You can save it up and use that money when you see somebody's having a real big sale. You can just pack the refrigerators,
up. I bet my pizza delivery guy thinks I passed away because I haven't seen him in so long.
I know that DoorDash's stock prices dropped when I went carnivore for sure.
And then as for meat, you don't need the fancy cuts. I buy chuck roast when it's on sale. I buy English steak when it's on sale. And if not, then I'll stick to the burgers or something like that.
Totally. And seriously, over a year's time too, you could save enough money and put it, take all the money you would, go ahead and eat the beef, take all your little Debbie and snack money and coffee money and put it in a
little
jar.
piggy bank. Yep.
Yeah. And at the end of the year, you could totally get like
buy yourself something good.
Or a cow.
I bought myself a cow.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
bought a cow.
Ex-
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Saved a lot of money and we're still saving. So yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
It adds up.
For sure.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
Appreciate it.
Eat the
I like
steak and the
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah, I like chicken. I just got steak or I got the burgers. I chicken's in my freezer. I got to get it.
Yeah, I don't touch chicken, but it's only because I don't feel good, and I used to think I was crazy, but then there's some people that just don't do good on it, and some people that do. I feel like a superhero, like superhuman, energy, and just feel great on beef, and I just don't on chicken. I feel a little bit off on chicken and beef or pork. I mean, I like it enough and it doesn't really hurt me. It just doesn't make me feel as good as beef. So I just tend to really eat a lot of beef now.
And I find chicken doesn't keep me full for very long. So within a couple of hours, I'm sort of craving and need the steak as well. Yeah.
Totally.
Terry, I'm going through keto flu now. Carney, day 5.
You got this, man.
Yeah.
You just got to push through it. It gets better, I promise you.
And use this. You use the suck. Okay, when you get through the suck, and remember it, and then be like, I don't want to go off the wagon
Go
because I
through
don't
that
want
again.
to I don't want to go back through the suck
Yep.
because that is no fun. So use that and remember it, and then when you get through it and you start feeling, feeling everything ease up, and then you think about going off the wagon, it's just like, do I want to remember why you're doing this? Remember, your whys, and then also go, I don't want to go back through that
Nope.
that
I know
keto
what I
flu,
went through. I know what I went through for 4 weeks, and I do not want to go through that again.
But just think, keto flu is your body's detoxing from all the crap that you've got inside of it. So try and think of it as a positive. You're going through this, you're detoxing for the better, for your health. So if you sort of look at it in those eyes, maybe that will help you.
Totally. Oh wow, Todd, I didn't know you were 11 months carnivore. Amazing, my friend, amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm amazed. I didn't know I was going to be able to do it either. I mean, that's how crazy this is, but this is literally why we all got on here, where it's almost just like we're looking around going, hey, do you guys know about this thing that's incredible and gives you your life back and it actually works, and it's not a fad diet and it's not some nonsensical thing that you can't do, but it's actually healing everybody?
Yep.
Because it's like, you tell people about it and they're like, whoa, you're crazy. Oh, you're eating meat that much?
Yeah.
It's, oh, well, your heart's going to
Yeah.
explode and you're going to
Yep.
have an aneurysm.
That's what everybody tells me.
Yeah. And then,
Yep.
but you get into the community here and you see all the real stories that are happening right in front of your eyes. And it's like, oh no, this is what everybody needs. This is what society actually needs right now to heal all the depression and anxiety. I'm sure there's going to be things out there that it can't heal, that are,
Right.
hereditary or whatever. There's going to be a few things that it can't, but the vast majority, I truly, truly believe, would be greatly improved if we just ate the proper human diet.
Yep.
It's incredible. But no, thank you very much. I appreciate it, because, yeah, I'm just as shocked as you are, to be honest with you.
Lewis, it helps a great deal to remove temptation from our living environment.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. Yeah. I find if I've got cheese in the fridge, my mind is constantly focused on that cheese. So I only buy it when we've got guests coming and we make like a platter or something, and then I make
Right.
sure it's all gone before they leave, or I send doggy bags with them so that there's nothing
Same
left in
thing.
the house.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Sandra, did any of you see Bill Knott's latest post?
No, I
I
didn't.
think he just one went out just before. I think I saw something come up on my notifications.
Okay,
Says
then
that-
I haven't saw his today's post. I saw his a few days ago post where he was going to go into the doctor because he had some
Right. I saw that.
lymphatic blockage up in his shoulder, I believe. And yeah,
and
definitely.
numbness in his feet or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have not seen his latest one, but I definitely will be when I get off of here for sure.
Dealey, do you have a scale that measures the body fat also and muscle? I just have a regular scale, but just today I thought that might be nice to have one of those. I bought one that measures all sorts of the bone mass and BMI. It tells you all these things, and I'm loving it. I'm become a real numbers nerd, and I actually weigh every day, and I've got myself a little spreadsheet, and I just pop all the numbers in there, and it's just amazing to see how it all goes. And yeah, I'm loving it. So
It's funny that you mentioned that too, because I was just thinking, I have the scale that goes up to 700 pounds. And there was a time when I couldn't get that thing to read. And when I finally could stand on it, because my legs got small enough that I could get on it, when I stood on it, the digital. And so I've been using that scale ever since, but I can't see what it says, but it does talk to you. It tells you your weight. And so I've been kind of, I don't know, it's nostalgic at this point. Like, I'm liking using it because it's the old trooper that's been with me the whole way. But I was thinking that one of those scales would be fun. But then I was like, man, do I need another thing to be mental about? Because I have
the
some
funny
mental.
thing is, I'm not really focused on the numbers. Like I see my weight fluctuate sometimes, and it's just
Yeah.
interesting to see what did I eat yesterday that may have done that, or might be
Totally.
fluid. But like that syncs with my phone, so I don't know if you
Oh.
can see it, but it's got, the red means I need improvement, obviously, but I've got 3 green bars at the bottom.
Nice.
So the bone mass is fantastic, muscle mass, and my fat-free body weight is all green.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yay! So
Does it go up to 460 pounds?
I'll send you. I'll pop the link in the chat if you want. I'll
Yeah.
find it. I actually got it from Midlife Carnivore. She's popped a video up on there. It's called a Renfro scale, body fat scale or something. RENFRO. Yeah, I don't know what the maximum weight is, but geez, I love it. And yeah, I'm not fixated on the numbers. If it goes out, I don't stress because I know I get fluid a lot, and
Yeah.
it's interesting to watch all the numbers sort of come down.
Yeah, I could see that'd be really fun for sure. Yeah, and I don't have one. I don't have one right now. I just got this my old one, but I was thinking it's so funny. This stuff still hits me. Me and Michael were talking about this. I'll be looking at products. I'm like, oh, that's got a 500-pound weight limit. I can't buy that. And then I'll start clicking away from it. That way, wait a minute. Yeah, I can. I can buy that.
Takes a while for it to click in.
It does. It's so funny. It opened up a whole new world. I'm now a 23-day carnivore after seeing Lindy's story. Only thing so far is giving up Coke Zero. I have cut down a lot and drink lots of water. Do you think that'll be okay for now? I think it will not be okay for now, to be honest with you. I don't know. Everybody's individual, but to be honest with you, there's something way different about Coke too. There's about soda, right? Those diet sodas. I don't know what magical sorcery they have going on in those cans, but they are so addictive and they destroy your gut microbiome. They make it really hard to break down fats and emulsify fats, which you really need to become fat adapt. And it screws up your your insulin resistance and your insulin numbers, like, because most of that stuff has aspartame in it. And when you drink aspartame, even though you're not putting sugar in your blood, it's so convincing to your body that it is sugar that you still have a insulin response, and it actually crashes your blood sugar. So you still have this yo-yo effect going on with insulin resistance. It's just not good. And I say this with I feel for you with all the sympathy in the world, because I was such a Coke addict and a Diet Coke addict that I'd love to tell you that there was good news that you could still drink it and get through it. But honestly, I think you will be a much happier person, as I was, if you can break through that wall and get rid of it. It is so much more freeing. You just got to kind of get through that wall. And again, you can email us or text us, and I have a drink that I used. It's in our
Community post.
Community posts. A drink that I used, drink that my sister used, a drink that my mom used that actually really, really worked for getting off the soda. And I think what I'll do is I'll make a video on this, on why I think that worked, and using the rituals of habits to get those, what do they call them? Those anticipatory endorphin fixes to create new habits. I think that's one of the things that I was utilizing that I didn't even know at the time why it worked so well for me. And so I think I'll make a video on that and post it so that I can put it up later in the chat and everything, so people can just go look at that, because I'm starting to see soda's got a lot of people stuck.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think you're doing great. 23 days. I congratulate you on doing that, for changing your life and taking a step towards a whole new lifestyle. When I did it, I used to drink a lot of Crystal Light. I stopped that. But I know pop is a lot harder. Now all I drink is my 2 coffees in the morning and just water.
Yeah, Coke
At least
Zero to me is very sweet, so that triggers all the cravings for me. So it's deadly for me. I can't have it myself. Yeah.
Absolutely. Being honest here, with the holidays and family celebrations coming up soon, I'm worried about my old self rearing its ugly head. Any suggestions to help me cope with these times? I would say this is going to be like, I don't know what your situation is, and I don't know how long you've been doing this necessarily, but I would like, this is going to be controversial too, but like, if it's between you being successful on this and maybe skipping a holiday until you get this under your belt,
Yeah.
stay home. I mean, I'm not even joking. When I had to not go to a lot of things when I was first doing this because I had to so focus and get laser focused because I was dealing with dying, and not getting through this, or I was going to live and I was really going to make a real change. And that meant for the first few little holiday things, skipping it, and then everybody understood anyways, which really wasn't that hard for me. And I know that I'm kind of, I was I was skipping it mostly because I was stuck in a chair, couldn't walk, so I couldn't get to these things. But I did realize, you start to act like you're feeling sorry for yourself or whatever, but it's a good thing, that isolation from all that stuff until you get your feet under you and really get the off switch, like Lindy talks about. If you have kids, I understand that, but do it at your house. Like, don't go to in-laws' house, and that way you can kind of control the food, and you could still do Christmas and stuff, and you can control all the food. That's what I would do. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I've been asked quite a bit with the holidays coming up, and I'm just
Right.
thinking, if it was me, just say this year all the holidays are going to be real small with just my family, because we're going to concentrate on this, because we're going to put this first and foremost. And so we're just going to, just like I forget, uh Lewis said, you're kind of protecting your environment, right? You're getting all the temptation out of there and stuff. And I realize you probably still got family and husband and stuff, but at least you can at least barter with them to have as little bit as on hand as you can, and kind of protect yourself as much as possible into what you're already kind of used to, what you're already dealing with, not to overload it anymore. I would say that. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, but
You can
what do you
also
guys think?
bring your own food too.
Right.
Bring something with you that you're going to eat. It's really going to depend on if how strong is your willpower when you're going to be around that food. If you know that you can handle it, then go there and just bring some of your own food with you and eat that. At least you're there with your family.
And you can also eat beforehand so that you're full
Yeah,
before you go. That way you can just sort of graze on a few of the, hams or
and some of
cheeses
the
there
healthier stuff.
during the
Yeah,
meal. Yeah.
yeah,
But I find we've been having Christmas here. So it's just like my little family. They all know I'm carnivore and they're very supportive of that. I haven't been to my husband's family's Christmas parties for 8, 9 years now because I was large. I was embarrassed. I couldn't. I was pretty much housebound anyway. So, and even last year, I was still big, so I just didn't feel comfortable going. So I got out of it. But this is the first year I'm actually going to go, and they're going
that's
to
awesome.
who is this person? You actually married? I'm sure they're going to
Yeah,
have something to say.
yeah.
And I am very nervous because they're all pretty much a big family as well, but and they have a lot of stuff that I'm not going to be wanting to eat. So, but they do the barbecue. So I will probably put salads and veggies on my plate, but I'm just going to push them around and look like I'm eating them, but I'm not going to eat them. That's
Yeah.
how I'm going to sort of get around that. Just put it all on my plate so no one's going to make a big deal about it because I'm eating everything. But I'll just concentrate on the meat. And then I don't think they're going to make a big fuss about me not eating desserts because they know that, I've had a problem for such a long time, and people don't make such a big deal about the desserts when you say, "Oh no, I'm full. I'm not going to eat that," because you've been big. It's more the vegetables and the fruits and things like that that they sort of hang on you. Eat a balanced diet and all that stuff. So as long as I look like I'm eating it, but I'm not. That's how I'm going to cope with it. But yeah,
That's
I hope that
awesome.
helps.
Question. I meant Todd and Carrie. Yep. Great Falls. We have to do a
We'll have to
meetup.
do your Montana
Yeah.
meetup at some point, maybe next year.
Well,
Count
I've
me
been
in if I can come over.
come on out. Well, keep getting the super chats, and you can afford that ticket by next 4th of July. Swing by, pick up Mike. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's just
just in time for our birthdays, because Mike and I are both in July, so we can now have a
that would
4th
be
of July
awesome.
party.
And then I have, but we've been getting some talk about a Montana meetup. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I would like them to come to our 4th of July show because that's pretty spectacular. We make a lot of food anyhow, so that would be fun. But what I'm worried about is I'm in Bozeman and hotels are ridiculously expensive here. So, and the 4th of July show goes late, till like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning on the 4th, and it's a holiday weekend or holiday for the hotels. And so I'm worried about everybody because it would be so expensive for them to come at that time because hotels would be, I mean, they could be $600 a night so bad. I mean, maybe even 400 if you book them now. And so that's kind of disgusting to think about. I'd hate to see people
How much meat you
put,
could buy?
yeah, how much meat you buy for those tickets. I'd love to have people come to our 4th of July show because it's really big. It's kind of famous, in fact. And we make a lot of meat during that time. So that would be the best time to do it. But like I said, I don't know what to think about it. But we could definitely
Well, I'm
talk about
sure
it.
I can fit in a tent now, and I could probably fit in a sleeping bag and sleep on the floor now. So just a bit of grass and pop
Yeah,
me in there. I'm fine with that now.
Yeah,
I
for
wouldn't have been
sure.
able to a couple of years ago, but
she's
And there is
planning this all out.
there is a KOA down the road that you can rent campsites. It's not bad, and lots of national forest where I'm at.
Yep.
But but we really have been thinking about that, and so yeah, stay posted, and I'm definitely open to any ideas because my it's really not for me to say because it's like all the people it's gonna like I don't have a problem going to the motel, but then we could do it someplace else at some other time too, in a different town like Billings or Helena or someplace where hotels would be more reasonable and do
Yep.
something there. It's just what are we gonna do in Helena? I mean, that's bore fest, so it'd be way more fun to have a big barbecue, carnivore style. We have a 500-gallon smoker, giant. We can put like 9 full hogs on that thing, so we could do it upright. And our fireworks show is pretty amazing. So, um, someday I should put someday I'll put the fireworks show up here. I don't think I'll do it this week, but and you could look. Oh, I sent it to you one time. Did you watch the video on the fireworks display?
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
I said
Very
it.
good. Yeah.
it was big. So that was fun. Okay, moving on.
You are all the best, and Todd, you stay feisty and you know the truth.
I'm definitely staying feisty. That's darn Copenhagen.
If I'm falling asleep just after a normal carnivore meal, do I need to do fasting?
Raymond would say yes. Raymond told me the reason why I was falling asleep was because I had gotten primed and I had so much protein that the protein was going through the process of gluconeogenesis, which is where your body takes protein and actually turns it into glycogen, and it puts you basically in a little carbohydrate meat coma.
Oh my, yeah.
So, yeah, you definitely, I think you should try fasting. I think fasting, I did OMAD for 9 solid months. So I'd fast 23 hours a day for 9 months. The only reason why I stopped doing that was because if I would have, our brains are all wired to go, more is better. So more not eating is better. And it's just not. Um, my metabolism slowed down because, fasting's supposed to be a stressor, not your new environment. If it becomes your new normal, your body just adapts to the new normal and it cranks your metabolism down, saying, "Oh well, this poor son of a gun's just in a place where he can never seem to find food but once a day." So it just cranks it down, and then now your maintenance calories are running way less. So if you eat a bunch and you get primed up, then your maintenance calories are up here, and then you throw that stressor in. So the latest data basically says that after two, tops three, the third one's debatable, but 2 OMADs a week to 3 at most a week is the most effective you can do an OMAD, and then after that, it starts to go downhill a little bit. Now I understand how the steak and butter gang do it because they keep changing it up. So they do OMADs, and then they do 2 MAD and skip a days, and then they do like 2 MADs in like a 72 hour to throw it in there because they're doing that whole confusion thing to basically keep it all as a stressor, and then they come back and they dump the coals on and reprime, So that makes good sense. But yeah, to answer your question, I would think definitely try fast. And what do you think, Lindy?
Yeah, I wouldn't jump straight into a 72-hour fast or anything like that.
No.
But just, maybe skip a meal here and there, and just, as Todd was saying, keep your body guessing, keep changing your plan. Don't eat the same every day, and just
Mix it up.
mix it up, trick your body a little bit.
Totally.
Yep.
I haven't had any kind of weight loss surgery. I just really like your. That's okay.
Thank you, Beth.
Everyone's welcome here. Even
Yep.
vegans, if they're nice and polite, we're all
Yep.
happy here.
We're all in this together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all want optimal health, whatever journey
So-
we choose.
Yep.
We're happy
Absolutely.
with everyone.
No, it's not an exclusive club. That's why I even get a little bit of flack because carnivore means so many different things to everybody. To put such a rigid little box around it is kind of silly. Ultimately, what we mean by carnivore is animal-based elimination diet and extremely low carb. But whatever you're doing, if it's working and it's working for you and it's making your life better, then it's a good thing.
Yes. Thank you, Kiwi.
Oh, thank you,
Oh
Keith.
wow, thank you, Kiwi.
Oh, you guys are blowing me away. Oh, wow.
It is amazing. You're gonna get Lindy over to us. We're gonna have to when this happens.
Oh,
'Cause
we
they're
need
gonna,
Keith to come too. He's from New Zealand, so we've got to try and you need to
Gotta
start a channel.
Get a suitcase for him.
I've
Yeah,
got enough. I'll bring
exactly.
you along with me, Keith.
Yeah. Can you be a carry-on?
Well, he's little. We can squeeze him into my suitcase, I'm
Yeah.
sure of it. So.
Let's see. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. I said this before.
You already got that one, yeah.
Okay.
I think we are at the bottom.
Did we catch up?
I think
You
so.
guys are fantastic because I didn't know. Let's go to the lives now and see if there's any more. I didn't think we were going to catch up today,
No, I didn't think so either.
but we powered through, and our fans are amazing, or people are carnies. Let's call them carnies. Are amazing.
Our family.
Family. There you go.
Here.
There. Just looking, going, make sure I didn't miss anything.
I check them on out. I was kind of peeking through.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah. Yeah, I think that was a great conversation. You know what you guys could do, everybody that's here? We would love to hear what topic you would like to talk about on next week's show. We want to start doing that, kind of getting your guys' opinion, because we're really curious what topics you like. I wonder, how do you do those poll things?
In the community, we can start one.
Yeah, I think we should start setting up a poll where we give like maybe 5 things to pick from of next week's topics, and that's what we'll go with. But by the end of the episode, then we'll go with that for the following week's topics. Whatever the highest rated ones are, we'll go in order.
Well,
It's nice to have some kind of a theme, isn't it, to follow, and then
Yeah.
just run from there.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I think it was a great topic. I really liked having Carrie on and going over the weight loss thing, with the weight loss surgery, because that's definitely one that keeps coming up. And again, we're not doctors, and we're not telling anybody
No.
what to do. And if you're in a pickle where all that's the only thing that works for you, do it.
Yep.
But if you haven't tried carnivore first, and weight loss surgery is so invasive and pretty permanent, I would just say give it a shot. Just give it 3 months and really go hard and be
Yep.
honest about it.
And no cheating. Stick to it, and you can do it. And
Yeah, and
like I
see,
said before, I don't think you would get weight loss surgery after you get rid of those cravings and all that.
totally.
Yeah, I
I'm glad
definitely
I didn't
regret
get it.
it.
Holy cow, did we
Yeah.
get this one?
Yes, we do. That just came in. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much,
That is
Carnivore.
incredible.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
And
You're going to get
just
Lindy
being
out here to us.
consistent. Well,
We're
we
going to
might
get
make the 4th of July fireworks. You got your bags packed, Michael? We're ready to go.
you guys are FedExing Lindy and Michael to us. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait. We're going to have to get something going for sure. Let's see here. But yeah. Ba-bum. Yeah, so when this is over, we'll figure out how to do it in live time for next week. But when this is over, we will definitely do a poll. I'm going to figure out how to do a poll, but we're going to do a poll with some
We'll get it.
questions and see. Thank you very much, Steve. We sure appreciate it. You're everybody. You should go check out Carney
Check out
Vlog.
Steve's channel. Yes.
Yep, Steve is amazing. He's got a great story too, and
Yep.
just like all of us, very he's finding out that carnivore's changing his life. Very genuine, good dude. Go check
Yep.
him out, please. All right. Do we have anything we want to talk about with as far as videos that we're going to be doing? I'm going to do a video for sure sometime in the next couple of days on the lemon drink, so that we can just pop
Cover
that
that.
out there. And then we're definitely doing this. Episode 6 will be up next Sunday at 3 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
4 p.m.
And
Central
yep. And
and 9
then
a.m. Australian.
9
Yeah.
a.m. Australian. Yep.
Does
And
that
then
time still work for you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that's why we were panicking. We're like, I think Lindy's time's going to change because it's the time change in the US. And I remember a month ago that happened, the vice versa. And so I was like, oh boy, I hope she knows.
Oh, I just stayed in bed an extra hour this morning and watched some YouTube in bed. I mean, what a life, hey?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that
awesome.
was nice.
Yeah, it was a good change for you then too. Let's see here. Oh, but Lindy, you should be having your Sean Baker interview dropping probably in the next week on YouTube, I would think too.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. So I guess, yeah, we'll all get a surprise when that drops.
Yeah, mine took
looking forward
about
to seeing that.
20 days from the time they did the interview to the time they dropped it on YouTube. So, and I think you're getting close to the 20-day mark, aren't you?
Yeah, I think you said it was 20 days was the 8th of November, so like 2 days away. So
Yeah.
yeah, so hopefully that comes up soon. I'm looking forward to seeing that because I can't remember what I said now, but should be interesting.
Yeah,
I've
so
got
definitely.
got a meeting with Bella and Raymond and Emily coming up soon, and we're going to do some more naysayer videos, just debunking those. So that's
Awesome.
another series that'll be coming up, and I need to sit down and do a weekly update. I'm 2 weeks behind. Just haven't had time with my job changeover and things like that, so I'm a little bit behind. I'll try and get one up this week.
That's awesome. Yeah,
That's my
I feel the
plans.
same way. I'm behind as well. But we are starting to get it figured out, folks, and we will get those things up a little bit better. Let's see here. Okay, so we got all those. We got any? Okay, that one's going good. And then yeah, we got just a few 20 minutes left here. So I was
Can I put
thinking,
a request in? Oh,
yeah,
if you got it. I want to hear your story again, the plane story. Oh my God. We had Michael and me in tears. And I just think you just start everyone's weekend or week off beautifully with your beautiful story.
all
I need
right.
a good
So
laugh.
we were chatting the other day about oh boy, putting me center stage, I see.
Oh,
So we
oh,
we were
hold on,
laughing.
hold on.
We were laughing the other day because we were talking, and me and Michael and Lindy talk off offline, off live, I should say. And it's just funny because we all have experiences that we share from being the size we were, and the kind of things we were going through. And I'm trying to, Lindy put me on the spot, but I'm trying to clean up this story because some of the language was not good from the patrons on the plane. But the first flight I ever went on, I was 600 pounds. I was a pretty big dude, and I'd never flown before. And I was actually flying well, I had to stop in Chicago, is where this flight was going. And I got on the plane. It was a little one flying out of Montana, and it was so funny because I started walking. I was late getting there because I was a big guy, so I was slow getting to the gate and getting on the plane. So everybody's pretty much boarded, and I was one of the last ones on the plane. And so I got on the little 737, and I start walking down the aisles, and I just noticed that everybody's eyes, I can just see the whites of everybody's eyes, and they are staring at me. And I realize it's because there's a few of these people that have open seats next to them, and they're wondering who's going to be the victim. like they're real worried about where I'm about to sit. And so I catch on to this pretty quick. I'm like, oh, these people are nervous. These people are just praying. And as I'm walking down the aisle, and I'm holding it up. Every person that has an empty seat, when I finally pass them, because I'm looking at my boarding pass, when I finally pass them, you can just about feel the stress relief off of them that I'm not sitting next to them. So I go down and I get down this aisle, and there's this woman, and I start seeing it. And I stop, I look at her aisle, and she's a younger gal, probably 32 years old, slender, business suit. And I look I look at my boarding pass. I look at the row. I look at the seat number. I look at her, and she goes, F bomb. That's all she said. Only not the F bomb. She said the word. And this hit me all at once because I got a crazy sense of humor. And this hit me all at once. And I started laughing out loud so hysterically because the terror and the misery and just the anger of this woman seeping out of her every pore that I was about to sit next to her somehow just, it was so funny because it had surpassed anything. If it would have been a little bit more low key, it would have been uncomfortable. But because she was so mad, I was literally laughing out loud, slapping my knees because this was the funniest thing that I'd ever seen. It was so dramatic and so over the top that it was like I was watching a cartoon or something, like a meme or something, living out loud. It was hilarious that I seen the stress on people's face. I seen them sweating that I was going to sit next to them, and then just she just drops an F bomb when I stop at her row, and now she's just losing her mind. And I start just slapping my knees, and I'm laughing, and it because I was laughing so hard, it lowered the tension of everybody around me because everybody knew what was going on, and now that I'm laughing about it, they start laughing about it. And then that causes this woman. Now, this is not what she was expecting from this interaction. So she's starting to get really mad, and she's saying some ugly things, which I'm just not going to repeat. And the more she was saying them, I was just finding it so hilarious that just this inconvenience that she hadn't even, I mean, I hadn't even gotten sat down yet. She just is losing her mind with the thought of this inconvenience. And it was just so funny. And then I finally got wedged in there, and I was on the aisle seat, so I was leaned all the way out in the aisle. And this woman keeps carrying on, and there was a nice older lady across the aisle that also had an open seat, and she said, if you want to, I would be happy to have you sit over here, because they saw what was going on with this woman, and it was pretty ugly scene. But I said, I don't know. I'm liking keeping this lady in plane ride purgatory right now, because she's kind of got it coming. She's kind of got an ugly attitude. And so I was kind of enjoying torturing her a little bit, to be honest with you, because she was being so hungry. But then I said, you look like you're funner at parties. I'm going to come hang out with you. So I went across the aisle, was hanging out with this older lady. But before I did that, too, the flight attendant did come up and told that lady that she was going to have to sit down and be nice, or she's going to get kicked off the plane. That was pretty funny. So at this point, she was just fuming and staring out the window, which was funny. But yeah, I went and hung out with this, this older lady. She was way nice. She was from Georgia. Really fun. But yeah, I'm sitting there now, and I never got on a plane before. I got to buckle the seatbelt. And I saw the lady, the flight attendant, she kind of held up this thing showing me a seatbelt extension. And I said, yeah. And I gave her this wave, and she brought me over a seatbelt extension. So I'm putting on this seatbelt extension, and I pull it, and it's still like 4 inches short with the extension on it. So I waved again. I said, ma'am, make it a double. She brings me a second seatbelt extension over. I plug in the seatbelt extension, and now everybody on the plane had been having kind of laughing. They're kind of on my side now. It was kind of funny because we were just kind of joking and laughing. And I mean, what are you going to do? This situation sucks, so we're just having fun with it a little bit. And you know, on this plane, I mean, I am wedged into this seat, and there's two little arms. Let's see if I can get my hands in here. There's two little arms that my legs are wedged into the seat. I'm trying to lean as far as I can out into the aisle, and the plane's about to take off, and you got to keep your seat in the upright position. Well, the plane starts to take off, which starts pushing me back. Well, that's making me not want to tense up so much and hold my legs together. So I kind of let my legs kind of relax. Well, that pushes me into the arms of the seat, which I didn't know at the time, but there's a button on the inside of the arm that reclines the seat. So my thigh hits this button in the middle of takeoff, and I just go straight back. My whole body falls straight back, and I'm looking up at the bottom of this dude's beard. There's just a dude, and I'm staring at his beard, and I just start laughing, and I saw him turn his head down, the whites of his eyes, and I'm just in this dude's lap, and I'm like, if we work together, nobody will get hurt, dude. Start pushing. So I'm trying to sit up. This dude's trying to put my seat up. The flight attendant, she's like, sir, you got to have your seat in the upright position. I'm like, for the love of God, I'm trying. So, yeah, when this whole thing happens, this dude behind me, he's a good sport. He's pushing on it. We finally get it up there. Everything's fine. I'm laughing. This is just the most funny thing that's ever happened. I'm sitting there, but I'm hanging down into the aisle now, while the drink lady brings the cart, and I'm 2/3 into the aisle at this point. So I got to straighten up. And as soon as I straighten up, I hit that damn button again, and I go straight back. And I'm back in this dude's lap again. And he pushes me back up, and we work together. He pushes me back up, and I finally sit back up, and we do this thing. And then I'm sitting here trying so hard to hold my legs together, but I'm just shaking, trying to not hit this button, because now I figured out it was this button. And I just relax just a little bit, and that whole thing goes back. And so finally, I'm looking at this dude's beard for the third time. I'm like, dude, where are you from? Like, we might as well get to know each other. I've been in your lap most of this flight. Like, I feel like at this point, we're just friends now. It was just the most hilarious thing ever. And then but I mean, I had to say it, some of the funniest things when I was going off on that gal, or when she was going off on me, and I just laughing, like the whole plane started cheering when that gal was getting chewed out by by the flight attendant. The whole plane was cheering because everybody, it was just funny. how if you just laugh at yourself and you just find the humor in it. Because if I was standing back and looking at this whole thing, I would have been laughing too, and I wouldn't have been in a hurtful way to be mean to anybody. It's just because it's really funny, and I don't care if you're big or not. You can see the humor in this whole thing. It's just funny. And so we're all just laughing, and it just disarmed the whole thing, and it was hilarious. But then the gal, or no, I was getting out of there, and this big guy behind me, he's like, brother, do you not know that you have the golden ticket? And I'm like, the golden ticket? What do you mean? And he's like, you're so big that if you go up to, well, this is a Delta flight. He's like, if you go up to Delta and you just ask him if all the seats and if you can be upgraded to first class or business class, whatever the highest level of that plane is, that he said, you're so big, they'll understand why you're doing it. And if they have any open seats, they'll move you up there for free. So yeah, word to any of the Husky fellas out there, you got the golden ticket because that has worked every time. You can just book it on, coach. And then if you go up there and you're a big guy, say, hey, in the to keep the peace, do you got any seats open up there business class or first class? And if they got them, they'll gladly give them to you. And then you're treated like a king up there. It's way better. Way better. Yeah. So you Husky folk, you got the golden ticket. That wasn't near as funny as it was usually because I had to keep some of the language out of there that people actually used. But it's 100% true story. It was hilarious.
Definitely
Uh,
stuff that we can relate to. Yeah, I never went on a plane for that reason because I just scared I couldn't fit in the seat. So yeah, when you told that story, it was just like, oh yeah, that would have been me, but I probably wouldn't have handled as good as you. I would have
No,
probably sucked and
I would
I
have
would have
died.
taken it to heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
would have.
yeah,
I love
man.
hearing it from you. Your attitude is awesome.
Oh yeah, it's so much, like what are you going to do? Because when you really think about it, everybody's got these problems and embarrassing things and embarrassing moments and people that want to make it worse. I mean, who knows what was going on in that lady's head? Like clearly her life was not going well for her to be so upset about these things. Like I get it. It's it sucks. It sucks that I'm going to impose being big on you. And this is my first flight. I had no idea how small the seats were, and I didn't know that you could buy two seats, and I didn't know that the seats were that much bigger on first class. That was the only time I ever sat in coach that way and did stuff like that. But at the same time, have a little bit of decency with people because you don't know, it's not like I got on this plane and said, I want to ruin this lady's day. You know
Right.
what I mean? But once you just go to that level that you're just, you don't care, you're so self-involved that you don't care what you're doing to like, not just me, but the whole like attitude of the plane, it made me so laugh so much that now I was just like, oh well, now I'm just gonna torment you because you deserve a little bit of a lesson here for being not very nice to people. So I'm just gonna torture you now with all my glory. I'm just gonna sit here and make your day horrible. It was just funny, and I just laughed about it the whole time. Like it was I was actually happy that she kind of was that over the top because it put me in like a state of mind. Because if she would have done it more low key, I would have actually probably been like self conscious and
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
yeah, uncomfortable, awkward. But because she went so over the top, I was just gutturally laughing out loud, and everybody saw what was going on. And I'd made it clear that what I was laughing about was because this lady's an ugly person right now and I'm about to make her day bad, which is really funny because I'm basically her penance for being an ugly person right now. And it was so funny. Oh my gosh, I was enjoying that quite a bit. But, whatever. But I did like how, and my dad always told me that, like, you make a little bit of, you just got to laugh at yourself. And when you do, just took the tension away, it just disarms everybody. And everybody was just, they're applauding that lady getting yelled at. And they're applauding when she got off the plane, when they left they couldn't wait for her to get off the plane. And she had to stay quiet that whole flight and had to huff off the plane. And people are generally good, and just like that lady that invited me over, real decent people. This one woman was just stuck in her, I don't know, stuck in her day or head, whatever. But yeah, it was hilarious. You gotta love. I'll tell some other stories later next week. I have I told these guys some, but just I told these guys we should start like the chronicles of of heavy people stories.
Yeah,
We all have,
I have a few stories as well.
yeah, funny,
Yay.
embarrassing stories would be hilarious. We can all laugh about them because we're all human and we all have them.
Yep. Happens to us all. I would have died though if it happened to me.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. You just gotta have fun with it. You just gotta see the humor in it because it was really funny. Yeah, it was mean, but it was hilarious too. It was so hilarious that she was allowing me to cause her that much torture that day. I'm like,
Right.
this is too much power to hand over to another person. Like
Right.
you hold the key to let this either bother you or not, and you just gave me all the power and treated me bad at the same time. So now I'm going to punish you for a little bit. It was pretty funny.
And she's showing her true colors too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Nasty,
like,
nasty person.
yeah, and maybe she's having a bad day. You never know. But it's just like, it's just funny. You just had to been there. I still remember that. And I just remember, yeah, most of these people, sure, I didn't have to, most of those other people got to laugh and cheer because I didn't have to sit next to them too. So maybe
that's
it would
probably what they're cheering for.
Yeah, exactly. I might have misread that situation a little bit. uh, uh, Yeah, for sure. It is funny, but I don't know. Good times. Good times, funny stories. And, we're all much better off to laugh at those things, I think, instead of, you know, take them so personally and stuff. It's just now I just look at people and I don't know, who ate your donut or whatever, but it's like you're just having a bad day and being kind of miserable with people.
Oh.
Linda, when I was veggie based, I couldn't go an hour without guessing. I don't know how sitting next to a polite, chunky person could be worse than next to an involuntary breathing hazard.
Oh, that's awesome.
Unbelievable. Very good.
That is hilarious. Oh, life is so funny, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a nice way to end anyway. Very nice. You can all leave with a smile now.
Oh, that is funny. Well, I appreciate you guys liking it. I'll try to polish up some of the other real things. I had a funny one about a bathroom visit that didn't go good one time.
Yeah, we'll save that one for next week.
Exactly.
I think Sandra popped a rib while she was laughing at your story, so we need her to recover for next week.
I appreciate it. Such a good time. Well, what's kind of a sign off? What do you guys want to talk about? What are you doing next week? What are you happy about this week? What do you think about the show? All these fun things.
I think today's show was really good. It was so lovely to meet Carrie.
Yes, it was.
She's beautiful. I love her journey. We have so much in common. It's awesome. So I'd love to keep in contact with her if she's up for
Hopefully
it.
she comes back again.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, love to see track her progress.
She only lives 4 minutes away from me. I'll get her here.
You'll drag her,
I
right?
know. I'm so jealous that she comes to eat with you guys. You cook her steak, and I want someone to cook me steak. That would be awesome.
Get the plane tickets. You start doing this a couple of times, you'll get frequent flyer miles.
There you go. And hopefully, I won't need a double extender, but I'm still nervous about sitting in a plane. I have no idea how big those seats are. But
You'll be fine. Speaking of which, up on SBG, we saw you up on the Zoom meeting, and me and Todd both talked last night, and we are so proud of you for where you've come.
Driving.
We saw you driving in the car. And
Yeah.
without even thinking, you getting up while you're at the florist shop and walking around, it was so awesome to see.
Oh, thank you. I have to go back and watch that replay.
Yeah,
See what I looked like. I had no idea. It was like I didn't want to miss the meeting, and I
no, I
promised
know.
my daughter I'd help out at the flower shop. And yeah, it's the first time I've actually been able to stand most of the day and do flowers. And normally I sit down and do everything, but I actually stood.
Yep.
My hip was really good. I think it might be all that butter that I've been having. My hip pain was sort
Lubricating
of
it, huh?
going, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
The girls were really proud of me, and all the staff in the shop, they all commented, and yeah, it was so nice. Yeah, I had a
that's
great
awesome.
day. Yeah.
Looked like you were having a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you got to see the little shop, my daughter's flower shop.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I love my car too, so it's a
Yeah,
nice change having that freedom again, yeah,
yeah.
being stuck in the house for such a long time. So
Looking forward to
mm,
it. Hopefully soon.
yeah, and all that money you're saving from not buying those pizzas, cookies, and whatever you can put towards a
Yep,
car as well.
yep,
Yeah, save a lot of money.
yep.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, me and Mike were talking about it, and we're like, yeah, these are the non-scale victories that we talk about that you're just doing, and you don't even realize it. That just like you don't have to think about it now. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
it's fun to see that for sure. To do what are you doing this week, Michael?
Probably more of the same that I've been doing. Working behind the scenes, getting stuff ready.
Right on.
I know I gotta want to make some shorts for you guys, and maybe take up some clips from some of the past shows and break them down a little bit.
I was going to bring up that we were thinking, and I don't know that we're going to do it yet, but we're thinking about doing a carnivore transformation interview channel
Yeah,
to start interviewing um, people and creators alike in the carnivore sphere and kind of doing that. And I think, Lindy, that Michael should be for our first interview.
Yes, if he's up for it, I'm in.
Yeah.
we'll we'll see.
It's in the
Oh,
works.
Is
We
there a
got,
steak in the green room?
I can make steak happen. I can get steak on a plane. I've seen there's a movie kind of like that. It might have been. I'm pretty sure.
was it snakes on a plane?
I might have got it wrong. I'll send you. I'll send you at
No
least a
snakes.
snake on a plane.
No snakes.
We can do that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of a little teaser because I was thinking we should do your story, and it just seems fitting that for the first Carnivore Transformations interview channel, I'd have Michael. That's what I was thinking. And I knew that if I said we should bring this up, you would say nah, because
Yeah.
you're all.
So you're putting me on the spot here live on.
Yeah, you made me tell a joke about being fat on a plane.
Hey,
So
that's Lindy. That's not me. That was her.
But you smiled. You wanted
I wanted it, but
it.
I didn't know there was going to be payback.
Oh, so I was just putting that out there. But we wanted to let you guys know should be coming here soon if we work out the details. But I think we're all kind of on board with that, aren't we?
It's a good way for people to share their stories if they
Yeah,
don't want to start a channel but like to get your message out there.
yeah.
Hopefully, you feel comfortable with our little space. And that's what it is. It is a comfortable space, friendly space, no judgment
Friendly.
here.
No.
And just share your story. We'd love to hear about it and share
If
your
you're
wins and struggles. And
if you're vegan, we're not going to kick you out, but I
No.
will joke with you and I
Yeah.
will make you laugh. So I'm going to make fun of your vegetables, but we won't. You're still welcome. So
they might guess you out though, by the sounds of it.
exactly. But yeah, that's kind of one thing that I had on my mind, and then yeah, I'm going to try making more videos about topics that people are asking about so that in the future the things that get asked over and over and over again, I was thinking I'm going to start doing that and just putting them so that we can send them to a video, and then Also, oh, anybody that's interested in the steak and butter gang, we have their links in our profile now to make it easier for people to find, or in the description, right?
And
We have,
also
yeah.
put this up there too for Healing Humanity movie.
Yeah, and Healing Humanity, the carnivore. So if you didn't know that, Healing Humanity, the proper human diet, is the official name of the carnivore diet documentary. I think I said that right, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Something felt weird about it. But I believe it's Healing Humanity, the proper human diet, or
Yeah.
with the proper human diet, one of the two. But that's the official name. So that was really exciting, and yeah, definitely. If you guys feel so inclined and you want to help get the documentary out there, those guys were not affiliated. We're not. This is not a paid advertisement. We're just
We just
really love the community and believe in what's
yes,
happening here. So we just want to
and
help spread the word for them.
we've seen it with our own lives what it does for people, and
Absolutely.
we just want the message to get spread.
Yep.
Mm.
And then if you think you're a good candidate or you want to tell your carnivore story, you can email me or Lindy. Our emails are in
Descriptions.
the descriptions, the about page. Are they in the descriptions or just the
No,
about page?
about page.
About page on our
Yeah,
channels.
yeah.
And so you go check that out. And if you want to do an interview or talk, or if you need direction or anything, we don't always have the answers for sure, but we do have can forward you to some videos or to the SBG gang or something and kind of get you pointed in the right direction. So
Yep.
we appreciate it. We love all you guys, and thanks for watching them. And we'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
See
Bye.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.
We're still on. Hold on, guys. A little problem here.